I could not see, thoughtless, not free. Doctors on the scene with poisonous fists, they call it the vaccine. And if you ain't asleep, you know exactly what I mean. My mama really knew she would breach the roof. I just hope she knows the baby only seeks the truth. I learned not to trust the system of the institute, and I feel I need to get that knowledge into you. Mama raised a truth seeker, every day making way, exposing the deceivers, trying to wake up all the sleepers. Listen for a minute and I'll make you a believer. Mama raised a truth seeker, every day making way, exposing the deceivers, trying to wake up all the sleepers. Listen for a minute and I'll make you a believer. In school I was taught lessons, a young truther asking questions, while all these other motherfuckers guessing. Elementary just wasn't meant for me. Y'all keep your fake history, the shit is not a mystery. That it's all lies, and if all lies would open wide and see in 2020 vision be nowhere to hide. It's so clear as a clear blue sky that we never see anymore, just trails pass by. And remember the conspiracy theorist said it's a lie. They're spraying chemicals in the air, but you still deny. So how can I get you to see anything if you're blind? Like the moon landing's fake, NASA lies all the time, and government officials are just the elite puppets. I'ma probably get murdered for saying all the shit, fuck it. Tired of this world anyway, getting bleeding by the day. Sheep will keep sleeping, truth seeker, I'm away. Mama raised a truth seeker, every day making way, exposing the deceivers, trying to wake up all the sleepers. Listen for a minute and I'll make you a believer. Mama raised a truth seeker, every day making way, exposing the deceivers, trying to wake up all the sleepers. Listen for a minute and I'll make you a believer. I was cutting classes, fucking blasting, straight mapping, looking at the globe laughing. Yo, we see way too far. I was cutting classes, fucking blasting, straight mapping, looking at the globe laughing. Yo, all of NASA's pictures of Earth are fake. They're all fake. Yeah, I was cutting classes, fucking blasting, straight mapping, looking at the globe laughing. We can't get to the moon today, never mind 60 years ago. Every day making way, exposing the deceivers, trying to wake up all the sleepers. Listen for a minute and I'll make you a believer. Mama raised a truth seeker, every day making way, exposing the deceivers, trying to wake up all the sleepers.
Tell me it was all in my head, that I don't know what I'm talking about.
According to Encyclopedia Britannica, mountains generally are understood to be larger than hills, but the term has no standardized geological meaning.
Meltology 101, baby. Once you see the melted bricks, you won't fall for their lame-ass tricks. Geologist, you're fired.
Larger than hills, but the term has no standardized geological meaning.
Boom, baby!
Just how many, quote, natural formations are really just extremely weathered, once extremely large stone-built structures? Maybe there are many stone granite hills, and even maybe mountains that dot our earth, grand structures of the forgotten people.
Boom, baby!
term has no standardized geological meaning.
They told me it was all in my head, but I don't know what I'm talking about.
Check it out. Check it
What is up, guys? We are back on my channel. Me and my trusty co-host, Shapu.
Yes. Hi, Jen.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm doing good. They were announcing like thunderstorm. I think it passed by. So.
Oh, well, that's good. Yeah. That's good. We don't need no thunderstorms tonight messing us up.
No.
Got a lot to cover, a lot to show, and we don't need any interruptions. Although I am going to have an interruption around 7:30, 7:40. I have to pick my husband up, and we're going to show a really cool video during that time. Apparently, my mother was in the chat. She's going to be watching the Phillies game tonight, so I know she loves her Phillies, and she's doing much better, guys. She's almost back to normal. Considering what she went through, I don't think she'll ever actually be back to 100% the way she was before all this happened. But she's getting there. Yes, thank you everybody for your prayers, and thank you everybody who's donated to the channel so far and gotten Meltology t-shirts. I really love you guys and appreciate that. And the links are in the description below. I can't put the links in for you to click on, but you can copy and paste the links if you want to donate and bring up the PayPal that way or whatever. I'm not allowed to use advanced settings because I'm a bad girl. And they said I'm just not allowed to have advanced settings. Sorry about your luck.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, I'm lucky I'm
Crazy
even.
the YouTube policies. Yeah.
Anyway, the only reason I'm here is because this is the go-to place. Everybody goes to like Instagram and Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube, pretty much, or TikTok, whatever. I'm not on those. I have Facebook and YouTube. That's it.
Yeah,
really simple kind of girl that way.
Yeah, me too. I got other places, but I don't use it.
Yeah. So, guys, make sure you have your notification bell on for my channel. A lot of people have been saying they have not been getting notified when I go live. Of course, a lot of people don't even know that I lost my other channel, and they're probably still scrambling to figure out what happened to me. But, I just keep popping up. They can't keep a good woman down. And guys, make sure you melt the like button on the way in or on the way out. Just make sure you hit that like button. Let the algorithm know that you love my channel.
We got 21 likes, but only 14. So
See, that's fucking
good.
awesome. That's how we roll. We're ahead of the game.
Yeah.
CFM's supposed to join us tonight. If he can, he might come in a little late on the back end of things or whatever, but he's going to try. So he has the link. We're going to keep an eye on the backstage while we're presenting. Either one of us are presenting. We'll keep an eye on backstage to the other one. I'll keep an eye on backstage to see if he's back there. And so we've been talking about Meltology for like, I don't know, 3 going on 4 years now. And there's still people out there who can't see it or refuse to see it or just don't want to see it or don't want to have to deal with the ramifications of seeing it or the ridicule that may come along with it. I say when you're standing in truth, you have the armor of God to protect you and the truth will prevail. This is just one more level of truth, the next level, you might say, that needs to be brought to the forefront and shown to everybody because like I told many people in the past few years, if they're going to lie to you about where you're living and what you're living on, they're going to lie to you about everything else that encompasses you in this place that we live. And I think that's something that people really need to wake up to that. You know what I mean? You can't just be like, well, they lied about, I mean, that's a huge lie to lie about where we are living, what we're living on. So in order to keep this globe model going, they have to keep geology going because that ties right into the globe model. And geology, in my opinion, is nothing but a bunch of BS that has been fed to us since the mid to late 1800s. And it is prevalent in the curriculum now for geography, geology, trying to explain away how things were made or formed over millions of years, just like they talk about millions of light years with space and things being millions of light years away. You can't wrap your head around that stuff, which is what they want. They don't want you to be able to think too hard into it because they got people with PhDs, which actually stands for piled high and deep. Yeah, get your shovels out because that's how deep it is, this shit. That will tell you, with plaques behind them and stuff on their walls that, this is the way it is. And, mountains are still forming. They're growing every day. You just can't see it because it's so slow. But they measure it somehow. Shapu is great evidence about centering and brain growth, and that really explains a lot. I mean, talk about people wanting scientific proof. Shapu, you brought that to the table, I don't know, maybe like 7 months ago we talked about that?
Yeah, almost a year now, yeah.
Yeah. And that to me was just like the linchpin for the proof that we have that this is taking place on a macro scale level instead of a micro level. What we were showing is how it happens on a micro level. But since we're talking about a plane-wide destruction, an extreme heat event, we could see that micro happening in the macro around us. And we could see how things solidified mid-melt. The
grain of the bricks just change into regular rocks and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yes. And that was a big bone of contention with a lot of people, that how could this regular old rock from my backyard or down here by the river could have been a brick. But we showed that over and over again. And one of the simplest things to do is to look at Pompeii. And you could see that their walls and their homes and their streets and their sidewalks were all made of brick. And then you see where the destruction and the extreme heat was, and you can see the wall next to the perfect brick wall, all janky, weird rocks. Well, that's not how they built it. They didn't just go around Pompeii and start picking up janky rocks and put a wall together right next to this beautifully bricked other 3 walls in the house. It makes no fucking sense. You need to make it make sense. And Meltology, in my opinion, makes everything make sense. As a matter of fact, it's a huge piece of the puzzle that was missing to explain a lot of this stuff. A lot of the big wig flat earthers will not even touch geology or how it even fits into the flat earth model, which is, that's on them. But, at some point you have to answer these questions and explain what's going on here. And geologists got it all wrong. They just were told what they're meant to teach other people. And that's what we've gotten. Same with his story, same with archaeology, volcanology. We've blown all of these narratives apart, in my opinion. We've melted them away completely.
Exactly. Yeah, that's another thing, that it's hard to let go of what you learn and what you like. Some people really like how volcanoes form and how mountains are made by the geology reason. But it's when you look into it, really not just repeat what you've been told, but and read books, but go look yourself. You see that what they told you, it's not really what it is, and this is hard for people to to get over it, and that's the hardest part. But once you get over it, you see it all. So
Mhm.
you need to go out and see it for yourself. That's and not stop reading book because it's entertaining, but what they say, they they all come from the same place. They have to pass through a council to be published, so someone had to approve it somewhere.
I think geology, the only thing it's good for is to, name what everything is now after the melt, after it's transitioned into its new form, and then how we're able to utilize that now in our world. Okay, like basalt and
Yeah, it's all,
just
yeah. I just want to say it's not that it's not good what they're saying, because what they're showing, it's the reverse of what really has happened. So they have just reversed the process, but they're not totally wrong. But what they're saying, it's not totally true.
right,
So,
exactly. So we see melted buildings that are melted down on themselves, squished down, pancaked down, which create these brick lines, these mortar lines and brick lines that are always paralleling each other perfectly. We've even seen this up at Mount Chiha. Jeremy found a really cool spot up there where you can actually see the mortar and the brick lines perfectly on the side of this rock. It's undeniable proof. And once you have new eyes to see this, and your mind is open, which is, your mind's like a parachute. They both work better when they're open. And if you are a truther out there in the world, you want to see and feel and understand the truth. And the truth is that all of these things, these Grand Canyons and gorges and cliffs and all this stuff like that, are not natural. They were actually something else at another time, maybe not so long ago. Another thing that they have us doing is thinking that things were so long ago that a lot of these things happen and everything, when it's not true at all. This was a very recent event, in my opinion. I think that maybe the last destruction, X Factor, God's judgment, whatever you want to call it, happened at the end of the millennial reign, and right between the end of the millennial reign and before the beginning of the short season of Satan. I think that's when there was a God's judgment. And then Lucifer comes back on the scene, marks it with the statue 1776. Fast forward 250 years, if that is what a short season could be, 250 years. Well, 1776, that brings you up to 2026. So could we be in line for another God's judgment? Well, let's take a look at where we are. Everything is the polar opposite of what it used to be even 20 years ago. There's, 1,000,001 new genders out there. People don't even know what a real man and a woman is. They're hypersexualizing children, and I'm not going to say any more than that. And you guys know the rest, okay? We're being lied to on every level. Our structure and moral value, the family values, everything has been completely wiped out and destroyed. And they bring in this, do what thou wilt, and, you're all good. We need to be all inclusive and accept everything, including everything that the Most High will not accept. They want you to accept, including all these lies and the globe lie and the geology lie and all that stuff like that. I think that at the very base of this plane that we're on, that God created, could possibly be a superstructure of brick of some sort. If brick truly is a supercapacitor and it stores energy, it would make sense to me. Not that I pretend to even know what the creator's thinking, because my little brain is nothing compared to that. But it would make sense if it was a baseline superstructure of brick. To set up upon that a free energy grid system that could be built upon, kind of like Legos. Okay. That's the only way I can describe it. Could I be wrong? Sure. This is my opinion. But it seems like no matter how far down you go, you find brick somewhere along the way, or brick walls and stuff. People are going in caves and mines and finding brick walls going all the way up crazy high and stuff. We're going to look at that. I've seen different things in, like barren wastelands where suddenly there's a brick wall sticking out of the ground and stuff like that. It's amazing how incredible things are that you've never really thought of before, but yet here we are. We're looking at it all, and my screen just went black on me. Sorry, I got a timer on it. I really need to change the timer on it.
Yeah, all this that you're talking about is all based out of the piezoelectric process, of creating a pressure on crystal, and quartz is the most prominent material here. And if you just put pressure on it, it creates energy, and it's in everything, even water and a lot of things. And now, what I've seen this week, I don't remember who shared it, but in fish scales and snake scales, also they produce a piezoelectric effect when you put apply pressure on it. So almost everything can create some kind of energy when you put pressure on it. And if the base of this place is all made out of it, everything creates energy. So there's free energy everywhere. We just need to harness it again.
Yeah. And it's super simple. It's not hard at all. No. The Tesla coil, Chris has been around way long before Tesla. They just use him as the go-to guy for the label for Tesla, technology and stuff. But there's nothing new with that stuff. Yeah. I've shown that the Egyptians were even using that stuff with the DJEDs and stacking plasma energy, which is exactly what a Tesla coil does. It stacks plasma energy. All these things on tops of buildings that we talk about, these antiquitechs and stuff, is all stacking plasma energy from the ether, which is the air, ether, whatever. I'm not going to argue that. I can't even believe people would argue over the ether, the air, the whatever. It's energy.
They're saying, like in the news, that they have not discovered that they could harness energy from the air. We all knew that.
Oh, imagine that. Then what's St. Elmo's fire? Okay. Like we talk about all these beautiful buildings from way, way back in all this time, right? But yet they're still sailing around in wooden sail ships with no real way of communicating with each other except for maybe lantern light blinking signs at each other when they're far away. I feel like these ships, there is no way possible that they did not have technology on it.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's very easy to harness that electricity, especially if you have some kind of metal on the very tips of your mast. It will harness it, and then you can propel your ship. You can communicate with other ships and all this stuff. Do you ever think, how did they make these long journeys, months and months and months, stuck on a ship with infantago and rats running around and disease and everything? I don't think it was really like that, guys. No. I mean, maybe after the reset with the rudimentary stuff that they were having to work with at the time, but not pre-X Factor. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. Because if you listen to the story of the Smoky God, the boats that they have there, they all work like that. Exactly. So.
Yes, the Smoky
it's
God.
A story, but yeah.
I think it's real. I think it's true.
Yeah, it's pretty defined as the story is really well written. If it's made up, it's got a really good imagination. Because how can you think about this kind of thing in the 1800s? Yeah, it's crazy.
It's like the Iron Republic, that one that we read over and stuff. I mean, he was describing, and this is from the 1800s, guys. This guy was describing stuff that we use today, that they were using at this place that he sailed into past the ice wall, called the Iron Republic. They didn't have horses and buggies; they had cars with not even what we use today. It was probably like free energy cars. So there was no noise and no click clack of horses, on the not cobblestone, but brick streets. But they also had flying machines, and they also had where you would get packages delivered to your house, like what they were talking about doing with Amazon with drones, flying packages and dropping them off at your house. Well, they had that at this Iron Republic. And they also had the thing called like Alexa, where you could just, not like say, I don't use Alexa, by the way. I don't have that in my house. But, you could say, play Janet Jackson, You, and it would come on, out of the air. It's like, where's it coming from? But it would play. And this is what they had in the Iron Republic, which, like, a lot of the technologies that they were explaining, this guy was seeing supposedly back in the 1800s. They say it's a true story, and then other people say it's fiction. But how could this guy know this stuff? And so that's 18 something. So that's 200 years ago. So these people were 200 years more advanced than what he was at the time. And that's pretty amazing, in my opinion. Definitely think, because I have the Montebano map here behind me that Shapu got me for Christmas. We've covered it on our shows before. And you can clearly see that there are continents past the ice wall. There is no ice wall, in my opinion, because on this map from 1587, I have it up there, the date on it. There's no, it says Terra del Fuego where it should say ice. Okay. It doesn't say Terra del Iso. It says Terra del Fuego. That's land of fire. So there's no ice down there. This is why they don't want us to go down there, because we're going to see land. We're going to see other land masses. I think that the part that people are seeing, in my opinion, and I have no way of proving this, I think that they create that frozen section. Okay, if you will, or there is a frozen section, but it's only a section. There, if you go around this ice wall, there's all kinds of lands, and there's at least 8 openings going through, leading out to somewhere else.
Yeah, maybe it's a protection from the release of Satan. Maybe it has created a wall that for him not to go past these walls. This is his boundary. You cannot go past this, and when he's gone, it's gonna be all gone. I don't know.
It's very interesting. Well, what was it? I forget how many years ago, 5, 7 years ago. I keep all these years just blend together now, all this crap that's happened. But it was 2016, Hillary Clinton and Trump, and then Kerry went down to Antarctica mysteriously right before the election results were in. And then there was a Russian Orthodox priest of some sort, high priest, that went down there. Many other delegates have gone down there for some odd reason. Down there. I shouldn't say down there. I say over there. Over and out, not down and anyway. They're not down under. They're over and out. That's what they are. But we do have to question everything. And, you can even question meltology. It's always good to question this stuff. But what we do here on this show is we bring hard evidence and proof that's undeniable. Okay. And like I said, I think meltology is really the glue, if you will, Melanie, the tardy glue, if you will, that holds all of this stuff together. This is a massive, huge piece to our puzzle. And I, for one, am grateful that it's out there and we're absorbing it and taking it in. And the people who are behind us who can't see it or don't want to see it, or, try to kick the door in later and come in like they've known it this whole time, that's on them. I don't think there's anybody out there who doesn't see the melt. I think what it is they don't want to deal with God's judgment and living accordingly. They want to do without will. They don't want to think about it. They don't want to have the responsibility of being, responsible for their actions, or they think being good and righteous is boring to some extent. But when you see what happens when these people, when God's judgment comes, you might think twice about what's going on. Israel is quite amazing. I've looked at a lot of stuff in Israel. We've already covered Herodium, which we're going to cover it again tonight because it's a huge part to this puzzle, Herodium, King Herod's fortress. But what we see in Israel is undeniable evidence of melted buildings, and they are there for us to see and understand and know and have knowledge, because when you have knowledge, you have wisdom. Okay. And my people perish for lack of knowledge. God, Jesus wants us to see this and know and understand that we've been lied to, and that, you know, things are not what they've told us. This world is not what they've told us. And we, us ourselves, are not what they've told us. You know, we're not these insignificant people. We have a soul, and that is important, and God loves us. And you know, we need to see exactly what is in front of us. Flat Earth's been in my face all my life. These buildings have been in my face all my life. You know what I mean? And I never saw it before. I think if anybody tells you they can't see it, they're lying to you. If they're telling you not to look at it, there's a reason why they're saying that to you. Okay.
But, you know, by introducing us to these people like Tesla and Einstein and all of this, they put our knowledge into a box. They create the box with these guys, you know. They set the standard. Oh, you cannot create anything more than he does because he found everything. No, he doesn't.
Yeah.
This is the only thing that they want you to know. There are much more things that aren't, but people just want to recreate what Tesla did and what Einstein did. No, just create something yourself, you know. But they don't anymore because they have put yourself into a box by showing these people to us and what they could show and what they could do. But there's much more things than this, and people need to really start thinking for themselves out there, you know. Yeah.
Absolutely. 7:32. Okay, so I know my husband's going to be calling soon. I'm going to play a video when he does call that is, let me see where it is here. Melted like wax. And it's about the Bible verses and what the Bible says about melting things, melting the earth, melting people, melting cities. But we're gonna play that when I get ready to roll out of here to pick him up, which should be very shortly. Let me see what I got here real quick that we can get into before he calls.
Probably have stuff that are not related to Israel to show. And hey, Mark is here.
Hey, Mark.
Storm is about to hit his house, so maybe he's gonna hit you in 30 minutes, maybe.
Really? Here? I need to look outside.
He just said that the storm just hit his house.
Oh boy, yeah, he's about 30 minutes away from me. Maybe a little longer. I'm not sure. All right, am I screen sharing?
Yes.
All right, I got to scroll back up here. I went way too far down. Way too far down. Let's go back up here. Ooh, where is it? Am I on the right page here? Yeah, photographs from Israel. Oh, I know what I did. I clicked on another link. Okay, here we go. All right, so I was looking at people's personal footage, pictures of Israel. This is somebody's, personal pictures on their little website here. And I was really intrigued with this one spot. I've shown it on the show a few different times, but I've never actually found it and looked it up and checked it out. But we're going to look at it here real quick. I get so far down this building. So that's what you got to do. You got to go through these websites and go through all the pictures just to find that one picture you were looking for. Yeah. Okay, here we go. We're getting there. Close. We're close. Okay, this right here. A few black and white photos. And this place here, now it says Carney Hittin, Galilee, Israel. But I think that might be the person's name. I don't know. I don't think it's actually called this.
I think it's Mount Arbel. So.
Yeah, it is. It's Mount Arbel because we look here. It is here. It says Arbel, but there was no real description. It didn't say anything particular, and I had a hard time finding this thing. I only had this picture to work with for a long time, but this picture is a really good one. You could see that this whole structure was this whole mountain, whatever you want to call this thing, was actually structure. You could see even the walls kind of hanging off here because they were melting off, breaking off and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And all the way down through here, you could see like brick lines, edges of bricks and stuff like that. And of course they want to say that this is some kind of fortification.
Yeah, there you don't build a wall if you have like a mountain wall, you know. You don't need it. That's
Exactly. And it looks a lot like Ball's Pyramid too. Okay, so here on this section, which I always found extremely intriguing. Okay, you can see people in here. Okay, so they're up here on this level. Let me scroll back up and show you where these people are. They're up here on this level right here. Can you see where I'm circling, Shapu?
Yeah.
Okay, that's where these people are, which means they had to either go up through the building to get to this level or come down from the top and come down to this level, because this is some next level building right here. There's a level here, then there's a next level here, and a next level here.
Do you have like a video of people going inside and moving?
Yes, yeah? I do. And we're going to look at that. But again, here you can see the people sitting here, checking it all out. There's rooms, there's corridors, there's walkways, there's all kinds of stuff going on in this place. The whole thing is the building, and that is not an exaggeration. And we're going to show you proof of it. These are just some other pictures in this same area here that you can see.
You can see the big lines everywhere and block lines.
Yeah. So what I did was I clicked on one of these links down here. But let me go over here. Okay, so this is the Mountain Fortress, was what they call it, what we were just looking at. But this is another side of it. Again, you could see that what would be natural, what you would call natural formation, is actually, you can make out every little brick in here. Okay, the whole thing is made of brick. I know it gets a little grainy when I get in too close.
Yeah, I sent you like nice pictures of the close-up of these brick turning to rock. I don't know if you have them.
Yep. Now look at this one right here. You can see a side of a brick right here. See it, Shapu?
Yeah. Right
there. Yep. You can see a rounded dome tower coming out here off the side wall. Looks like they refurbed the steps a little so people can get up in here to the next level and look around in this melted fucking building, because that's exactly what it is. And of course, down here, there's way more melted stuff to look at as well. Oh, this is this other fortress that King Herod had right here, Shapu.
Masada?
Yes, Masada. Look at this.
Yeah.
I mean, if anybody had any doubt, just look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is King Herod's fortress.
Yeah, we showed like a video of people just going to these openings, like inside of it. It's all open, you know, full chambers, stairs, and everything.
Exactly. And this is supposed to be a natural structure that, you know, took millions of years to form. And they just somehow got lucky and got all their horses and donkeys way up here with all their shit to build this stuff.
Yeah.
God, give me a break. Okay, this one was really interesting. Oh, no. This one, Shapu. Look at this.
Oh, yeah, this, yeah.
Look at it. Now, I don't know where this is exactly. Where is this?
It's in Tibet.
It's Piang, Dunkor, Ping. Okay. All right, guys. What you are looking at...
the Gooch Kingdom, the old kingdom of... they call it the Gooch. I don't know how to say it, but it's in Tibet, yeah.
I got you. Tongkor, Piang. So everything here. Now, I want you to look at these areas here and all through here. It looks a lot like what you see in... oh, hang on a second.
There's a time.
Hola. Okay, thank you. I'll see you in a little bit. Bye. Okay, this looks just like the stuff you see in Utah. All the melted stuff that you see everywhere. It doesn't matter anywhere you go, right through this middle section. But yet everything you're looking at here in this video is actually structure. Okay? All of it. Windows, doors, walkways, archways. It's all melted and muffed up. Look at it. Now take a look at what you live around everywhere.
Yeah. And they say here that they are all mud bricks, but when you really get close to it, you actually see they are all red. Some of it still red because some of it has been cooked too much that they lost all the color.
Exactly. Look at that right there. Just look at it, guys. Are you kidding me right now? If this would have melted down more and you couldn't see any windows or doors or any parts of a building, you would just have a lot less of this. It may even look like Goblin Valley in Utah. where there's only these little nubs sticking up now because it was so melted down, and you can't. It just looks like just some crazy foreign, like whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a really good one. I love watching this thing here. I mean, just take it all in, guys. Everything that you are looking at here is a structure.
Yes. Everything.
Everything, all of it. Okay, so I have to go pick him up real quick. What I'm going to do is I'm going to play this video, Shapu. I'm going to leave you in charge. When it's over, you just come off the screen share. And if I'm not back yet, just, say hi to the chat or something.
Yeah, no problem, Jen.
All right. I'm going to put this on big, and I'm going to get ready to get out of here.
All right.
I have to make sure this is up all the way. Can you hear this when I play it? Yeah, let me know.
No.
No?
No.
Okay, I'm going to have to put on the volume of the audio. Let me come off here. I apologize, guys. Oh, shit. What did I just do? I hit freeze. Wrong button. Okay, share screen. All right, here we go. All right, we're good?
Yeah, I see it. Just need to
let me know if you can hear it.
And in my fury,
yes.
And I will leave you there.
All right, guys, I'll be right back.
You.
All right.
Yea, I will gather you and blow upon you in the fire of my wrath, and ye shall be melted in the midst thereof, as silver is melted in the midst of the furnace, whereby we may serve God acceptably, with reverence and godly fear. For our God is a consuming fire.
All right, we are back with another episode, and today we're going to be talking about something that's a little bizarre. This is known as the melted buildings theory. So basically, this theory states that many of our national parks, mountains, big old rocks, canyons are not really mountains, rocks, and canyons at all, but ancient cities that were destroyed in some kind of cataclysmic heating event, causing these buildings to melt and to get destroyed. So before I get into the evidence and proof for this theory, I want to do a pop quiz on you guys, and I want you guys to answer a question. So I'm going to show you two pictures of mountains. Now, one of these mountains is just a natural formation, and the other one is a pyramid structure built by human hands. I want you guys to guess which is which. Which one's the actual pyramid built by human hands, and which one's the mountain? If you guys guessed the one on the left that is known as Gebel Dist, you are wrong. That apparently, according to them, is a natural formation. But the one on the right is an actual pyramid. So this really makes you think. It's an actual pyramid known as Pyramid of Amen. What? I can't even pronounce that. I'm butchering it. But yeah, basically the one on the right is an actual pyramid structure, while the one on the left is a natural formation. Now, if you zoom in, it just looks too crazy and too symmetrical to be a natural formation. I mean, just look at it. But yeah, it really does make you wonder. And now, before I get into the melted buildings, I'm going to talk about the possible explanation as what caused this cataclysmic event. And we're going to take a look at something called a Lichtenberg figure. So a Lichtenberg figure, or Lichtenberg dust figure, is a branching electrical discharge that sometimes appears on the surface or in the interior of insulating material. Lichtenberg figures are often associated with progressive deterioration of high voltage components and equipment. So I'm going to give you a little example of a Lichtenberg figure on a piece of wood right here. Now, as you can see from that example, an electrical current is sent through that wood, forming these miniature little canyons, forming this electrical scarring-like pattern on the wood. Now, what's really interesting about the Lichtenberg figure, you can find this pattern all across the world, and I'll show you some of them. So here's an example of the Lichtenberg figure. I'm not too quite sure where this is. This is, believe it or not, the Grand Canyon from plain view. Lichtenberg figure. It appears to be as if some kind of mega lightning bolt struck the ground, causing this canyon, ripping through it, causing this Lichtenberg figure, leaving an electrical scar on the earth. There's another example in New Mexico, again, more electrical scarring. Here is more in Saudi Arabia. Here is more in Canada, more fractal patterns, more electrical scarring. But yeah, you can find this pattern all across the world, it's as if the entire world in our distant past got fried and absolutely destroyed, leaving these electrical scars. And quite possibly, this might be an explanation for the melted buildings theory. And one of the first examples for the melted buildings theory I want to talk about is the Grand Canyon. Like I showed you from plain eye view, it appears to be as if it's an electrical scar, as if something from the heavens came down, struck the ground, and left these electrical scarring like fractal patterns. Now, if you pay close attention to some of the mountains in the Grand Canyons, they don't really look like mountains at all, but pyramid-like structures, as if they used to be cities down there, as if an entire ancient city once existed there. I mean, just looking at some of these pictures, let me zoom in for some of these. It legit looks like an actual structure. I mean, you got 90-degree angles, you got pyramid-like structures. Some of these are just too strange looking to be natural formations. There's actually something in the Grand Canyon called the Isis Temple, and you can see 90-degree angles. It legit looks like a pyramid that was destroyed in some kind of cataclysmic event. Here's a picture right here, Isis Temple. Again, you can see a curved wall at a 90-degree angle. And all throughout the Grand Canyon, you find these structures, and they look like actual buildings. But yeah, that's the Grand Canyon. Now I want to look at Zion National Park. So this national park is found in Utah. And as you take a look at some of the pictures, it legit looks like it used to be an ancient megalithic cities with like beautiful like structures that were destroyed. If you pay close attention all around, it just appears to be as if these really were structures of some kind. Like, for example, there's this interesting pyramid-like structure in Zion National Park, and it looks very similar to temples found in India, except this is destroyed by some kind of cataclysmic event. And if you pay close attention to the structures in Zion and to the mountains, it has this interesting runoff pattern as if it melted and then froze. It's very, very interesting. But yeah, there's a chance that when you're visiting these national parks, you're actually visiting an ancient city that went through some catastrophic, cataclysmic event. Quite fascinating. All right, moving on. This is Rainbow Bridge in Utah. As you can see, it has this arch formation, and we're just told that it's from natural erosion, wind and rain, stuff like that. But it appears to be that it once was a bridge of some kind, but as the theory states, it got destroyed in some cataclysmic event, causing it to melt and get destroyed. Here's an interesting cave I found. Apparently, this is a natural formation too. I'm not quite sure where this is, but it appears to be that the ceiling is like melting. I mean, in the inside, you can see like pillars. Again, it's as if this used to be a structure that got destroyed in a cataclysmic event. Some of these rock bridges in these pictures that you see are connecting one rock to another rock. It's as if in the ancient past, these used to be buildings with a bridge connecting one building to another, kind of like this picture of a bridge connecting one building to another in Oxford, England. Here's more interesting structures found in Zion. Interesting looking pillars. Again, these do not look natural, but we're told it's natural through wind and rain erosion. But what if it's not? What if it got destroyed in a cataclysmic event? I mean, especially this picture. Like, let me zoom in on some of this stuff. Like, look at this pillar-like interesting structure. It's as if it really was a brick building of some sort, a red brick building that got destroyed in a crazy-like event. Here's an interesting picture comparing candle wax to a mountain that appears to have a runoff-like pattern. And again, this mountain has 90-degree angles, it has lines, it has parallel lines, it has pillars of some sort, but we're told it's all natural. And again, here you can see the candle wax dripping down, and here you can see the mountain having some kind of runoff pattern like candle wax. But yeah, you can find these structures all across the world, as if the entire world got fried by this Lichtenberg-like pattern, destroying these cities. Like, for example, the Grand Canyon picture I showed you, a plain view. Imagine a city once existing there, an ancient city that possibly looked like Atlantis, and mega lightning bolts came down from the heavens, tearing through the earth, destroying, frying, melting these buildings, and leaving us the remains. I'm going to end this off by showing you one of the best absolute proofs of the melted buildings theory. Now, this is a mountain in Shirkala, Kazakhstan. Now, if you look at it, it looks like it used to be some kind of structure of some sort. And if you pay close attention all across this mountain, it appears to have some kind of runoff pattern, as if in the distant past, something melted off of it, as if it was a structure and it was melted. And again, you can see these parallel lines as if it's an actual structure. Now, what's really fascinating about Shirkala is if you look at plain view and you look down, you can see these electrical discharge patterns that I've been talking about, the Lichtenberg figure. And it appears to be that it's heading towards this mountain. It's creating these interesting like canyons and heading towards this mountain, possibly destroying it, frying it. Another interesting thing that I discovered about this mountain is all around this mountain, you see these perfect, mysterious spherical stones, and scientists aren't really able to give a perfect explanation for what it really is. Now, if this really is a building, it possibly could have had windows, and one guy actually had an explanation for these spherical stones, and I'm going to read it to you. This is one of the comments on the guy's video concerning these spherical stones around the mountain. I work with molten glass every day, and I believe you are definitely on the right track about the spheres. Glass is made up of sand. The intense amount of heat turns the sand into a liquid. When the sand is liquefied, it automatically turns into neatly perfect spheres when cooled very quickly. It retracts upon itself and solidifies into marbles. Now the question is, what was the extremely large flash of heat and where did it come from? So again, the explanation for these spherical stones is these are actually remains of the glass and windows that once melted off this interesting like structure, forming these neatly perfect spheres like the guy was explaining who works with glass, who's a glass blower. And you can find these spherical stones all across the world, and usually next to these spherical stones, you'll always find an interesting looking mountain or hill that was possibly an ancient building. And what these spherical stones possibly are windows and melted glass that solidified and made these perfect spheres in the flash of heat. Here's another example. This is Bowling Ball Beach, California. Again, in the background, you can see the spherical stones. And if you zoom in, this is very interesting right here. This is Bowling Ball Beach, California. At the top right here, you see an interesting like brick pattern, and then you have this runoff pattern. It looks as if it's sandstone because glass is made up of sand. And as it's melting off, giving this runoff pattern at the bottom, you see the spherical stones, like the guy was explaining. When glass is heated with intense heat and then quickly frozen, it forms into these marble-like shapes. So this is a possible explanation. Now, being the curious person that I am, I wonder, does the scriptures have anything to say about this, about the Lichtenberg figures, about the electrical scarring, about the melted buildings? And well, it kind of does. I found an interesting verse. This is Psalms 97, verse 3 through 5. So a fire goeth before and burneth up his enemies round about. His lightnings enlightened the world. The earth saw and trembled. The hills melted like wax at the presence of the Lord, at the presence of the Lord of the whole earth. Wow. In Ezekiel 22:21, ye, I will gather you and blow upon you in the fire of my wrath, and ye shall be melted in the midst thereof. The picture you see right here is from Tupiza, Bolivia. It looks like an actual melted city. It's insane. But yeah, thank you so much, guys, for watching. It's definitely a bizarre, interesting theory. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and we're done.
A fire goeth before him, and burneth up his enemies round about. His lightnings enlighten the world. The earth saw and trembled. The hills melted like wax at the presence of the Lord, at the presence of the Lord of the whole earth. The earth saw and trembled. The hills melted like wax at the presence of the Lord. Hello? At the presence of the Lord of the whole earth.
Oh, you're there.
We're here.
Yes. Yes, there's someone playing at the background. I don't know.
Oh, I think it's down there. All right. Okay, I'll take these up then. I thought you were be able to do that there, but you can't. So let's see.
Well,
Let me
welcome.
switch. Now we got dogs. You're the one that asked me in here, you two. All right, let's see.
I cannot stop her videos, but
default. Let's see. I want to go to this.
All right. Oh, CFM.
They're working. Okay.
Yes. All right. You're on screen, and you're there.
We are.
Yes.
Hi, Spoo.
Yes. Hi. How are you?
I'm well. Good to see you.
Good. Good. Me too.
How are things in France?
Pretty crazy.
Yeah.
You know, people are revolting everywhere.
Can you remove her? That'd be funny. Get her out of here. There we go. That's much better. It's a takeover, everyone.
Yeah, it's our show now.
So here's my cheap way of saying hello to everyone that said hi to me in the chat. Hello, everyone.
Yeah, I think I'll make a roundup in the chat. We didn't look at it yet. So welcome, everyone. Natalie. I see Miss Melt is there. There's Jenny. Welcome, Logan. Both of them. Who else is here? Got J-Dogs.
I'm not hijacking it, Melanie. It's already happened. It's over.
Got Mark. Melted Inverted Realm. LVK. Welcome, everyone. Red Storm is here from Australia.
Oh, yeah. Good eye.
All
I
right.
just move people around, not intentionally, but it happened.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Rick and Rose. We got Rose. Welcome, Rose. Crazy John. Got Dana. Hi, Dana. Or Dana. I don't know. Who else? Melanie. Who's tardy? What's going on? Who else we got? We got Trisha. I think we covered everyone. So welcome out. No, maybe. Tony. It's late. Rethink. All right. We're just waiting for Jen to come back.
Let's just go on without her. What else you got?
Yeah.
Throw some pictures. We can ooh and ah. I don't mind doing that. It's fun.
Yeah, I could, like, she didn't want me to show some nice footage, so but I've got pictures, so I could look at crazy pictures.
I don't know. I don't even think I have anything. I wasn't planning on today as a stream day, but I got invited. How could I say no?
Yeah, it's Israel, you know. Oh, you can use
I know, right? I can't wait to see what you got on this. So
yeah, I
do
got
have anything?
really nice places. Yeah, Red Storm. CFM's on too. Gonna bring more people here.
All right, let me see. I have. This will go along with what you're doing. We could do that.
Nice.
I can. Let's see. Clickety click. Whole screen with audio. Did that come up?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so it's this one here.
Oh.
And I don't know how people are about, their videos and stuff, but we can look a little bit. This is an abandoned mine that these guys came across, and they're wondering who came down here and put this huge wall of bricks.
Oh, wow. Crazy. In a mine, yeah. There's no reason.
Yeah, what would be the point?
Yeah. No
how high it goes.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
They can't even get to see where the top of it is. So someone just came in here, and how'd you get all these bricks down here?
Yeah.
And for what purpose? And it's thick. It's not like it's just, okay, it's all these. No, it goes deep. So this was quite a process of this brick thing that you had to put inside this mine. For what purpose? To give
there's no mining going on while you do this, you know?
Yeah, right. How long and how much did you have to break it without everything collapsing on you before you built? Like, I don't understand. Try to understand. It makes no sense. So they're blasting through this rock and then create this gigantic cavity and then fill it with bricks and make a tunnel. What keeps the rest of it from collapsing while you're doing this? It's nonsense.
Yeah, it's nonsense.
It's for what? The donkeys?
Yeah, to bring donkeys in caves, like the canaries, the donkeys.
Yeah. So we're gonna build this. I mean, look how freaking high that thing is. Come on. Yeah. It's higher than most of the people that watch our shows.
Yeah. Good one.
Thanks. I'm here all afternoon.
You'll be here all night.
Good night, everyone.
Yeah, Melanie says that she's gonna leave now that you're on. So.
Oh, that's fine with me. No, what we got here? Oh, is it an elevator? Yeah, right? Maybe it's an elevator. Elevator shaft?
Yeah.
Could be. So, let's see. Oh, wow. I hate having your hands tied. You always have way better stuff to share than I do. Let me see what else I have on here. We might just have to break the rules and start playing stuff. Well, we don't want to tank your show, Let's see what we got here.
If you got the other stuff, we can show the stuff. Because all I got are pictures and some drone video of really nice places.
Okay. Let's see. Okay. So we'll go here. Clickety click. Oh, they're just one outs because I don't have everything on tabs like I normally do for a show. So, am I sharing?
Yes, you're on.
Okay, this is just called "They Caught Us Act Normal."
Oh my god, these are so funny. Oh, who's back?
Oh, good. I'll get some coffee while you're doing. Oh, and you got rid of him. Oh, yeah. You got to get the right. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I feel weird about her, anyways. We try to get rid of your show. She's muted, so she can't even talk back to me. It's great.
Can I mute it?
No, you're not.
You're good. You're good.
Okay.
Yeah, your video is still playing in the background. I can see it.
Well, my video is still playing in the background.
Yeah, I couldn't stop it.
Huh. Oh shit! I didn't mean.
Well, no, we're not seeing it. Whatever's playing, we're not seeing.
Hold on, I'm trying to find it. I don't know why it's
You
playing.
can just stop your screen share, I guess.
Hold on. Let me stop screen share.
Yeah. Yes. Now you're good.
I have to figure this out.
Yeah. Oh, CFM just left.
I don't know why all this is playing. Where's it coming from?
Yeah, I think it was like on a loop or something. Or.
All right, I'm lost. I got it. Jeez. That was a pain in the ass. I closed something out that I wanted to show. Hey, what's up, CFM? He's getting coffee, I think I heard him say. Hi, guys. Man, I don't know what I shut out here. It was probably a video I wanted to show. So what were you guys just looking at? Diamond Head?
Yeah, no raccoons playing innocent.
What did I miss?
She's like, okay, so where are we at? We had Diamond Head. We're looking at raccoons. She's like, what?
Yeah.
I'm a little lost. Maybe I should go back out and come back in.
This is why you invited me, right? To put on
That's right. So that looked like it was Diamond Head, though, right?
No, we just looked at before at the wall in the cave.
Okay.
Oh yeah, did you see that? There was a cave. We did actually have some content, from me. It was a cave that had a wall in it of bricks.
Yes. Yes, it was. It's at a mine.
Yeah. It's
Oh, how about that? That was crazy, right?
Yeah.
I mean, who's building that?
Exactly. For donkeys.
It's a building. All day long. I don't know why people can't see it.
And did you hear the discussion I had the other day that the mule, to me, if it's true, it's a chimeria, because the mules cannot reproduce on their own. You have to take it's a male donkey and a female horse, and you can get a mule. And they're bred because they're hardier, they're sturdier, they can carry more, they eat less. I mean, everything about them is like an upgrade. But they don't exist on their own. And so I can't. Is there another animal I'm not thinking of that you have to put two different species together?
Yeah, but their chimeras, like you said, they are breeded by humans, like
Isn't that
liger.
the days of Noah, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
you heard about the liger?
Yes, on what was it? Napoleon Dynamite is where I first heard of it.
But yeah, if you take like a female lion and a male tiger, no, I think, or the other way, you produce a liger that's a big lion, like double the size. But if you do the opposite, you get a tigon, and it's a small tiger.
Really?
Weird.
So
That's
yeah,
weird.
I don't know if it works the same way with the donkeys. Maybe you could
And they said, the same thing with domesticated dogs and cats. I get that.
Absolutely.
But people have been messing with that. Whereas actually just creation, there was no ligers or mules or
Yeah.
Right.
or whatever those things are they're making in China, supposedly. Those big creatures.
Well, also, if you look at a cheetah, cheetahs they have cat and feline and canine features. Like the spots on their fur, I think is canine, and they have canine paws. They also get feline and canine diseases, both of them. Like, and it's just like a mixture of two. Like somebody.
What animal is it?
A cheetah.
The cheetah. Weird.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't know where cheetahs came from. They think that it was created somehow. Like in the past, it's a leftover.
Yeah. Oh, and Sarah is half panther, so yeah. So there's that. You're right.
Oh yeah. My Bella boy, he's a parlor panther. That's what they call those cats, parlor panthers. All right. So, what's going on with you, CFM? How's it going? Glad to have you here.
Oh, I'm tickled that I could be here because, like I said, we've been having family visits, so it's really hard to get up here. But they had a few hours out just now, so it worked out perfect. So I jumped in here. So thanks for inviting me.
Yeah,
I can't wait to see Melted Israel.
Oh, this is unbelievable, the stuff we got lined up.
And something that came up yesterday, one of my sons that doesn't even, he's the only one that has a toe in the water. He does watch these shows occasionally and hear me out, and we discuss things. And he said something yesterday because he went on a hike to these, like, some really beautiful mountain range. Hopefully he's got some pictures. But he was saying, look, if you believe in the crystal growing theory, he said two things. One is, what is the energy that's creating those mountains to grow like that? Because isn't it like we're back on ball Earth, right? You have to have a molten core to force this and stuff out, unless you can come up with another theory that's not Bible, because the people that are against what we talk about also are against that. So what is the energy source of these crystals growing? And second, he said, why did they stop? How come all the mountains that we see now are in decay or crumbling or just stopped? Why don't we still see them grow? Why aren't they talking about how Mount Everest has grown another 3,000 feet this year or something? Why is everything all stopped?
Yeah, because they say that they grow so slow. They grow like a centimeter a year or something like that. We just can't see it. That's their excuse.
Yeah. It's the same one that they use for the ball theory. Just because everything looks flat is because you can't see far enough. Right. Where the curve starts. Yeah. And yet every time they shoot up a rocket, you can see the curve perfectly, right? It immediately starts going this way into the Bermuda Triangle Ocean.
Yeah, that's why you
have nowhere. That's where.
That's why you have an eye zoom camera. You can bring up the curvature, to see like boats and cities from far away.
Yeah, including, what was it, Chicago skyline, which is a mirage. That's the other thing you brought up. One more thing. Remember this story that came out, was it last week, where they said 90% of the people on Earth are going to see the sun or something? And he's like, and the way they explained it was, depending on the angles and stuff, some people didn't. If you're on the opposite side of the ball when it's nighttime, why are you seeing the sun at all? Because he was bringing up the point, how can we see the moon out all day now? It used to only be, I'd see it at night. Now it's out. The other day it was out all day, and then it dipped down somewhere and came back in for the night. It was really weird. It's like you see it all the time now.
Yeah, and you can see through it when it's out during the day. It's like
right, whatever color sky, that's what the moon is. Did you notice? That's just amazing.
Yeah,
translucent.
For me, the moon, it's when after the full moon, you can see it for like 3-4 days at the same place, and after the full moon, it's totally in another place. It doesn't continue like it's supposed to, like they say, but it's not there anymore. It start over at some other point. It's crazy.
Exactly. Okay, guys, we're going to look at Kashet Cave in Galilee, Israel. And I have to say, God sure left a lot to look at for us to know and see that these were actually buildings. And Israel is chock full of melted buildings. So we're going to take, let me put this volume up. We're going to take a look at this.
Going on a big adventure. We don't know what's in store. Going on a big adventure, and we're headed out the door. Zumubafu. Wow, look at that. drive a little car?
Yeah, awesome. Yeah.
Maybe I'll just put the
Yeah.
volume off.
Yeah, it looks like
Yeah.
the old we showed in Hawaii,
Yes.
out to the mountain. Yeah,
It kind of reminds me, like, if there was an ocean here, there would be water shooting up through this hole. You know?
you can see all the block lines everywhere. Crazy.
I love the drone footage of these places. It's just absolutely amazing. And we have hiking videos too, going through these supposedly fortresses. They have no other name to call these things, so they call them fortresses.
If I ever flew a drone on one of these, the whole video would just be it going down and crashing. Because I tried those things. I am not skilled in
this. Yeah.
I have a drone being delivered. I ordered one, so we'll see how I do. Hopefully I don't crash and burn.
Yeah, I wouldn't start here. This is expert skill level, because if it's down there, you're done.
Yeah. But if you call this a fortress, don't you mean that it was man-made? So, it's
Well, King Herod's Herodium is all man-made, and that looks just like a hill. Okay, so let me see here. They're basically showing this part here on this. And then I have another video lined up for us. So let me go over to this video here. Okay, Mount Arbel. This is where it's going to get good, guys. You ready for this?
We're ready. We're ready.
I'm so excited.
There's a hole in the earth, dear Liza. That's funny.
All right, here we go. Let me see here. I gotta fast forward it a little because this guy's going down into Mount Abel from the top down. Let me get over here to where he's so they slap a plaque on it, like here, to tell you what it is, and then you just move on with your life, go with the narrative.
The music.
You want the music?
No, I don't.
There we go.
Okay, much better.
Okay, let me move it forward just a little bit here. All right, guys. This is supposed to be a mountain fortress. Okay. I beg to differ. This is actually a melted building. If you can see right here, all along here, this whole thing it is building. It's not mountain, it's building. You can see windows, doors, interior spaces to this building, especially up in here. And they actually go in it and everything. And you'll be able to see brick everywhere.
Yeah, you can see like the apertures are all line up. So
yeah. And then, again, this is in Galilee, in Israel. This place just blows me away. I love this place. Look at this. Just look at it. Look at that perfect arch window right here. Look at it. See it right here?
Oh, yeah.
Look at that. Yeah. You can even see them up here, up through here in the structure and stuff.
Yeah, you can even see like a pillar inside of it.
Yeah, look at those.
Just look at it. Absolutely amazing. 100%. That is a melted building all day long. In my opinion, in my meltologist opinion, this whole thing is building. There's nothing natural about this structure at all. This thing did not take millions of years to form.
100%. And the structures back then, when you look at those pictures or drawings from the Bible, these cities went on for days.
Mm-hmm.
And they were gigantic structures.
Yep, and cities that were built to the heavens.
Yeah. I mean, that one story, it took that one guy like an entire week to walk through this village or town or whatever.
That's crazy. Again, look at the melt here. You can see it. You can see that there's a walkway through here going into this interior space. You can see different levels that are not there anymore. There's at least 10 levels to this thing that you can make out. Now they try to reconstruct some of it and keep it going for tourism and stuff. Again, they try to say that this is a fortress. What else would it be? It has to be for defense purposes.
There are always fortresses, and then the buildings that are still standing are always banks and post office and city hall.
Exactly.
So yeah, this guy, he actually goes into some of these interior spaces, which is really cool because
Is it the one that yeah, it goes down and on the floor it's all bricks? You can see all
Oh, yes.
pieces of bricks.
Absolutely, Shapu. Yes.
Yeah.
And LVK, exactly. Who's climbing up there to knock out arch-shaped holes in the mountains? Like, what are they? Come on. It's so funny when you see it with a new perspective, new eyes. It's like
absolutely 100%.
Look at that.
You can clearly see all the block lines.
Yeah,
You know?
look, you can see brick all through here. All this is brick. I mean, all of this is brick, but especially when he starts going over to this side here and this whole wall going up, you can really see it.
Yeah.
So they're saying this was a natural rock formation that they carved out a fortress. Is that what the story?
Yeah. No, look at this. This has a curve in it here going down, like this curved over, like it was a tower of some sort. You can see it.
And regular sedimentary layer always has these like perfect brick shaped lines and everything, of course.
Yeah, just happens to have that, right? Look at this. I mean, come on.
Yeah, what force is pushing this up through the ground? And if you're not saying that it's a building that was melted and you're saying it's a crystal that was grown, you're back on the ball, because give me the power source other than a molten center like the Tootsie Pop.
Exactly. Same with volcanoes.
Right.
They don't have nothing to say about volcanoes, do they?
That's where they say diamonds and gold are, deal with. Also, it's like diamonds come out of there and gold's from outer space. I mean, come on, people.
This right here reminds me a lot of what we see at Machu Picchu, with this big block on the top of the doorways and stuff. It just has that Machu Picchu kind of feel to it. But here we're in Israel. This is all the same time period, in my opinion.
Yeah, you can see that this one is still, this is the pocket of survival, because what we were looking at just earlier before this, it's the same thing. But now you can see like definite structure, like instead of just like rocks. But it's coming. Yeah, you can see like all the it's changing.
And look what happened to the mortar between these big boulders that were actually brick, because we're talking about the sintering and grain growth here. And just look, they did not build a wall with these janky rocks and these little rocks up in here, put bigger rocks in and then little rocks between them. That's just crazy.
Yeah, we've got two theories: built by hands or flying donkeys and hobbit rock welders.
Mm-hmm.
I like them both.
We got to make it make sense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, make a world of nonsense make sense.
Look at that. Just look at it.
When you see it as a melted building, you can see the whole building. Otherwise, it looks
exactly.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and also I want to point out directly across from this whole big thing right here, again, all melted building right here. You can see windows, doors, apertures, all kinds of stuff, but that's really muffed up over here. They probably just say they're little caves and stuff. Okay, now let me just go up a little bit further here. Oh, wait, I'll go back just a tiny bit. Look at this. So this is across from where we just were. I could see a window and a doorway right here. There's all kinds of stuff right here, all up through this side that's slumping over right here is all windows and doors and stuff, just like where he's coming from.
And everything that it's sitting on is all just melted to the point where you can't even distinguish.
Exactly. Yes. That's why the top part is still intact, like a pocket of survival. What's below it got melted out. Melted steps here. He's going down. Who's carving melted steps? Who's building melted steps? Who's carving melted buildings? Okay, now let me see here. It goes down a little bit further past some stuff here. Yeah, and then he's back on ground level. Okay, so I'm going to stop that video. Let me go over to this one.
Yeah, really
okay.
Nice.
Where are we?
Yeah, this one is very good.
This one's a really good one. Okay, so this is Nahal Aviv hike in Israel. And this is another location. These people are hiking on foot through this valley. And everything that they are walking past is fucking melted buildings where they pan up. Hold on, let me just get to the right spot here. And let it play. Music.
I'm never a fan of the music when they put those things on. I don't know.
All right, let me make this big. Okay, so we're looking up on the sides, either side of this trail that they're walking on here, and you're going to see just all kinds of stuff. We got to go to Israel.
Road trip.
Right? Again, right here on the left, this whole thing is all melted. Up here on the right, when they pan up a little on either side, you could just see more and more melted building with apertures everywhere, including straight ahead right here. And then over here, see how they pan up? Okay, let me just back it up just a tiny bit. You're going to see the windows and doors. All right, let me stop it right there. Look at how melted out this is, but you can see it with structure.
Yes.
Every day of the week right there. Well, it gets better. It gets way better. Where do you see this? Hold on. Again, this was all brick that he's walking over here, all muffed up, melted brick. Okay, let me see here. Yep, he's coming up on some stuff. Go up just a little bit more.
Those poppies.
Okay, look at this thing straight ahead here. Right here, look at this thing. It's like a part of a building that, slid off of something. I don't know. There's a square right here. You can see up in here, this was all building.
That could be a windscreen.
Yeah, right, a windbreaker.
Windbreaker.
Okay, now we're focusing on either side of this little valley here. All of this is melted building. You can make out the structure, and here you can see apertures running through everything. Hold on. Yeah. Okay, it's coming up here. It's moving through. It's like everywhere they're walking in here is just like every twist and turn. There's more melted buildings. You can see it.
Yeah.
And look at that. What's this over here? Is this a wall? Is this like part of a building that's broke off right here? Look at that. Wow. Absolutely amazing. All right, let me go up a little bit further here. Again, here you can see this straight wall right here. It's really smooth. All this throughout here and all on the other side. More buildings. And Mark, that storm is hitting my area right now. So thank you for the heads up, because when I ran out to pick up my husband, it was getting crazy out there.
Oh, really? What's happening?
Oh, we're getting a big thunderstorm rolling through here.
Oh, wow.
High winds and stuff. Yeah, look at how cooked out these rocks are. I mean, God's judgment was severe in this area, I'd have to say.
Yeah.
All right, now he's coming up on something up here. Hold on, let's see. Look at this. Look at that. What's that? What's this?
Part of the fortress?
Nothing to see here, honey. Just a melted building. Aviv Caves. So they're calling these caves. And when they get up here, wait till you see how gigantic this thing is. The people are real tiny.
They're taking their sweet time.
Yeah. Look at that.
Wow. Wow.
All right, so here we are. They're going up inside it.
But that was even hard on the dog on the walk. Look, he's panting.
Yeah.
Look at
Look at this nice
Yeah, what's
little,
that?
this nice little square there.
So most of the caves they carve round, but that one they carve square. I mean, what the heck?
Yeah, they have like a melted look. Yeah. Look at this. The floors, everything.
It's multi-level building here, guys.
A little shelf there.
Every time you see that, it's always flat. The ground's always flat. You know why?
Mhm.
Because it's the melt. It makes like just water. It's all level.
Let's look out the window across at our neighbors over here. Look at this. All right,
Yeah,
let's
that's
just
a
stop here.
building. Totally.
Yeah, look at this side. I mean, we were just over here inside this, but there's this whole side here that's slumping down and stuff. Yeah. All right, now let me go up a little bit further here. Okay, so here's more melted building on the other side. Let's see what he's got here. Oh, here we go. Get up here a little bit more. Panning around. I feel like I know what this guy's going through because I did this in Ape Cave, filming and trying to climb over.
Right?
Get it
That's
all.
how they know the existence of God. That the fact that the three of us made it out of there, without hurting anything is pretty
And we
amazing.
were the only ones in there. I mean, really, for the most part.
Yep.
What's this?
And you did clock your head so hard I heard it, but nothing.
Yeah, right? All right, now I want you guys to pay attention to this block here on the ground. This is all melted brick. It's some kind of melted wall or structure of some sort, but you can still see all the brick lines in it. Look at this. Look at it. Just look at that. Look at these perfect lines and stuff. Look at
You
it.
can see the bricks.
Yeah, exactly.
And when you see the bricks, what happens?
When you see the melted bricks, you won't fall for their lame ass tricks.
You got to get quicker on that if I feed you that line, but go ahead.
Guys, that's a brick. That's a brick.
Every day of the week. Every day of the week.
Boom, baby.
I'm a drop. I'm so excited.
All right. All this rock you see on the ground was all brick at one time. Janky old rock used to be brick. It's all melted out. Okay, so here he's leaving out. That's the end of that video. Let me go to this next one here.
When you think about it, Jen, wasn't that so amazing that we went in there to see if we could, prove your building theory with volcanoes or lava tubes? And we find an actual just brick.
Oh, dude, there was brick everywhere.
I know, but just like perfectly looking shaped brick, you know?
All right, this is the Valley of the Pigeons, not to be confused with the Valley of the Pigeons from Turkey. This is Israel, and this is some mind-blowing stuff right here as well. I'm going to go up a little into this. Start it. Let me get this music off. Okay, look at this. Look at this melted building up here. And across from it on the left, it's just everywhere. Everywhere you look. Yep, zoom in on that. That's right, because look, there's windows and doors and walkways all through here. This whole thing was the building. You can see it.
Yeah.
Look at this. Look at this. Look up here.
Solar flash. You guys heard about that, right? They're worried about the cannibal solar flash coming.
Oh, give me a break. More
I know.
fear tactics. Look at
I know, right? It's hilarious.
Unbelievable. Even here, there's an archway, doorway right here. There's something right here. I mean, it's all through this whole thing.
And those little things popping out of the ground right there. See those?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I don't see any pigeons in this valley.
All right.
Well, they're not real. I'm getting on board with that.
All right, let me
No, yeah, but I've heard that.
Yeah.
What in 2025 now that it's gonna be an internet outage and they're gonna blame it on solar flare, So
I can
might
see
be
the
they
door.
want to make a fake internet crash or something to again bring another something into into play.
Well, if they know that this is the end of the short season of Satan, there's going to be another God's judgment, they're going to piggyback that. And they're going to try to steer the narrative, just like get ahead of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Well, here's the thing that's weird. Growing up in my learnings, the Northern Lights, most of the time you really could only see them, I thought, from like Alaska, but now you can see them like where I'm at in the Northwest. But in addition to that, it had to be really cold.
Yes.
And because of this, whatever's happening, solar flare thing that's happening, I think today or whatever, you'll be able to see them again. This is the second time this month that we can see Northern Lights in July.
Yeah.
Huh.
What are they hiding? What's really happening that they're steering this most ridiculous narrative?
Yeah.
But
That
if you,
nobody knows about solar flares. I don't care what Truth Channel it is. They tell you about the human the human resonance of the solar. Nobody knows.
yeah,
You know.
you know,
Well, the sun's not 93 million miles away. So what is this thing, And
and they tell us that there are reflection on the ice from the sun that create this, but they also tell us that the ice is also melting, but we see more of them,
Right. Twice now this month, and we don't have them out here. At least we never used to. We're gonna be able to see it like near where I live. Like what's really happening? If that, let's say, it's light from God's throne, the veils, every once in a while, or something's happening that we're supposed to see, because Jesus told us to look for signs and wonders. And so if we do see weirdness, they're going to explain it away as whatever. Like that day that they said everyone could see the sun at the same time. Like, how do you explain that, through math and science,
Well, here's a sign right here. They slap a sign on it and tell you what it is and walk away. Everything here in the background, including this ridge up here, is all melted buildings, all of it. They come along, slap a plaque on it, tell you what it is, that's the narrative, and then they walk away.
And by having that sign before you get there, the things that you would look at, maybe the mountains behind it and see the building in it, you just dismiss them as mountains. You look for the, quote, cave, and you're fixated on that one thing you're looking for.
Exactly. Well put.
Like,
okay, so now they're going to pan back up here. Notice the terracing. See these different levels. This is the melt. Up here is the top of whatever this building was. And below it is the melt. Let me go over to this video here. This one here I have ready. Again, this is Mount Arbel, where we just were a few minutes ago. This is drone footage. Again, you can make out, this is very much like Tenerife, where you can make out the levels. You can actually see the different floors in this building. Let me kill the music. Hold on.
no, I didn't hear it, so that's fine.
There we go. And what you're seeing here is the bare bones melted down building. It was much higher probably, and this is pretty high up right now.
Hey, Jen.
Yes.
So Mumsy Bear says we were supposed to be able to see the Northern Lights also in I'm assuming Indiana, the other night. So you started seeing from all over the earth.
I don't know. I haven't seen any, but that would. I would not be surprised, because
It would make more sense if that's, like I said, it's say God's throne or whatever that color is coming from, reflection off the firmament. I don't know. Something's happening up there, and they're just once again putting their own narrative on it.
yes. Usually when you used to see it, it's only like green, but now it's all green and purplish and very colorful. It's crazy.
Well, maybe as we get to the close of the short season of Satan, the camp of the saints, or whatever's at the center there, gets brighter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I could be wrong about that, but all right. So that was that 4K footage for that. Let me zoom over to this one here of the last war. Okay, let's hold off on that for a second. Best hikings. Oh, that's Hawaii. I don't know why I have that up. And that was Janet. Okay. All right. I want to play this video real quick. Let me know if you hear the volume on it. Can you hear this?
You play it again?
Yeah.
According to the Bible,
Okay.
what will the final great battle look like?
We get to talk over
To
this.
figure this question out, the first thing we must know is where we are in the timeline of Scripture. I believe we are close to the final endgame. I have looked at the scriptures through a clean slate perspective, letting go of the preconceived ideas that the world taught me, such as the false doctrine of futurist eschatology. I have thoroughly looked into every possible angle of the Bible, along with proof of scripture outside of the Bible, and I believe there's a high possibility that we are in chapter 20 of the book of Revelation, in a time period known as Satan's little season. According to the scriptures, after the events of Armageddon took place and Satan was thrown into the bottomless pit, the earth was at peace for 1,000 years. This glorious age was known as the Millennial Kingdom or the Messianic Reign. After this 1,000 years of peace on earth ended, Satan was let loose out of his prison. This time period is known as Satan's little season. During his season, he deceives the world one last time. I believe we are currently in that season. I believe it's very possible that the accuser's season started in the late 1700s, also known as the Age of Enlightenment. Out of the 17 and 1800s, we have seen all kinds of strange events and technological advancements. We have also seen a rise in Christian denominations, from which a majority of these denominations, if not all of them, were started by men who were part of the fraternal order of Freemasons. We have seen all kinds of godless, unbiblical doctrine arise since the 1700s, such as the doctrine of infinite space, evolution, and the Big Bang Theory. I believe Satan has done all these things to deceive humanity to fight in the final war against the Most High. The book of Revelation, chapter 20, verses 7 through 9, tells us exactly what the final war will look like. And when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison, and shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth, Gog and Magog.
And just so you know, ball earth does not have corners. So it has to be a flat plate.
To gather them together to battle, the number of whom is as the sand of the sea. And they went up on the breadth of the earth, and compassed the camp of the saints about, and the beloved city, and fire came down from God out of heaven, and devoured them. The book of Revelation states that Satan shall deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth, which means every single nation on earth. Now, who exactly Gog and Magog are, I am not entirely sure, but Revelation states that they will join the deceived nations to battle the Most High. However, according to British legend, Gog and Magog are a mythical race of giants, which are also biblically known as the Nephilim. Gog and Magog, or sometimes known as Gog Magog, and Quirinius are descendants from mythical pagan giants, and their origins lie in medieval legends of the early British kings. The Bible states that the armies of Gog and Magog are innumerable, and that their number is as the sands of the sea. In Revelation chapter 20, verse 9, it states that Satan gathers the armies of the deceived nations along with Gog and Magog, and goes up to the breadth of the earth and compassed the camp of the saints in the beloved city. I think it's very likely that the camp of the saints is the New Jerusalem. According to the scriptures, New Jerusalem is a giant floating city that descends upon the earth when a new heaven and a new earth is created. I believe New Jerusalem is hovering above the North Pole in the third heaven. The city of the great king is home to the...
And this could explain why the aurora is changing colors and getting so expansive to where everybody can see it.
Maybe.
Yeah. I'm not completely on board that there's this floating city. Not to say that we don't know, but I do believe center north is where they're camped out. That would make sense.
Yeah.
And then all the
I think it's ethereal. It's like beyond the veil. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you go up there, you might not see it, but you would see it if you were spiritually elevated. You know what I mean?
That could be. But I did have the theory that they were able to go back to Eden because that's still here. We got cast out of it, didn't destroy it. And so you were only able to be in Eden in the enhanced bodies, and when they fell, he had to change our body system to allow it to survive outside of Eden. So I would think when you go back the other way, they could hang out in Eden, because Eden is still here, guarded by angels that'll kill you if you go in there. Which could also be why they say the North Pole is guarded by the countries. How about it's just guarded by God? But they don't want you to know that, so they put a second perimeter on the outside, and then everything's going on, and don't all the heads of state and all that, and countries, they all go to the North Pole for no ungodly, for a godly reason. They're ungod, but you know what I mean. And so, to me, it would make sense that that's where it is. It doesn't have to be floating in my theory. It just has to be in the same area as his. But I do like Alpha Talks. I talk and use his stuff all the time.
When the all Tartaria thing came out, I started looking into it and found out that in northern Mongolia, where one of the capitals of this Tartaria place is called Gog, and there's a city called Magog near there. And it's really in the northern part. So it's really interesting that at the same time that this came out, the story of the Tartarian, there's a city called Gog and Magog. It's really interesting.
It is interesting.
Yeah, of course, right?
Saints in Jesus Christ himself as we speak. It's also interesting to note that there are news articles stating that the North Pole will be the next battleground for a great big war. Now the question is, how is Satan going to deceive the world into coming together to attempt to fight God and his saints? The answer to this question can be found in a speech that was given by Ronald Reagan's address to the 42nd session of the United Nations General Assembly in New York City.
Perhaps we need some outside universal threat to make us recognize this common bound. I occasionally think how quickly
Flat Earth map on the wall
worldwide
Yes.
would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
What's that, Shabu?
With a laurel leaf and encircling it. Like
correct. Nothing to see here.
Is not an alien force already among us?
Yeah, they are.
Satan is going to convince the world that the camp of the saints, the beloved floating city of the great king, is an alien threat, and that the armies of the world need to come together to defeat this threat.
Oh, sorry. The F, bro. Hold on.
Yeah, is it a threat, or they want us to think that it's a threat,
Yes.
It's a trap.
All right, hold on. Let me put this back up.
Doctrine of space and aliens have been preparing us for.
And I think our alien invasion is going to be a slow rollout, not some Independence Day kind of
stuff. An alien threat has been conditioning us to view the camp of the saints as an evil threat from another world. Think about it. Based on what we've seen in pop culture, what would the floating city of New Jerusalem look like? New Jerusalem is a colossal floating cube that is 1,432 miles long, and its height and width is of the same length. New Jerusalem contains 432 quintillion cubic feet.
Can I ask a question on this?
Based on what we've seen in pop culture.
Go ahead.
I'd have to go back and read those passages, but I was under the understanding that doesn't show up until it's all done, and then it comes down and there's new, that. Are we supposed to see that before the final curtain? Because the final judgment? Because that's confusing to me. If that's the case, then no, we wouldn't see that coming. I agree that would freak people out and they think it's an alien invasion, but I'm almost feeling like, am I wrong? Do you guys know? Or
no, I feel like they're definitely going to use it as say it's an alien invasion when it's actually the, this.
Yeah, but are we supposed to see the city before we're judged? Does that come after?
I think it's before, in my opinion. I could be wrong. I don't know.
I'll look at my book while you're playing this.
All right.
Culture. New Jerusalem will look like a giant mothership, an alien craft, like the one we have seen in the movie Independence Day or Avengers Endgame. In the movie Independence Day, the entire world comes together to defeat a so-called alien threat. And in Avengers Endgame, we are told that Thanos is the bad guy and wants to destroy the world. In the Marvel movie Endgame, Thanos uses a war mothership called Sanctuary. Sanctuary was a massive warship commanded by Thanos that served as his flagship from which he carried out his lifelong mission to
Look
eliminate.
at this. At least 4 Q ships could dock with it at a time. Q ships, like Q. Interesting.
Eliminate half of all life in the universe. Now, what's interesting is Mount Zion, located in the New Jerusalem, is also called a sanctuary. Zion is an ancient Hebrew word. It means refuge, shelter, sanctuary. But it can also mean fortress or strong place. The heaven of Zion was the name of the mountain.
The other Jenny had an interesting thought. I don't believe it's a cube. She says, I think it's a pyramid. Yeah, I mean, very well. Everything else is. That's a power source.
Could be. We got front row seats, so I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, right.
It became the city
Popcorn.
of Jerusalem.
Got your
Satan loves using entertainment to try and convince the world that the bad guys are the good guys and the good guys are the bad guys.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that Thanos is a representation of the Most High, and his mothership, called Sanctuary, is a representation of the camp of the saints, the floating city of New Jerusalem. Fortunately for the believers in the Most High and his Son, Satan and his deceived armies will be defeated by a great fire that comes from the heavens. After this great big event, a new heaven and a new earth will be created, and we will live in perfect peace and harmony for all eternity. I hope you guys found this video fruitful.
All right,
Again,
go ahead.
I really dig this guy. But on this one theory, I have a difference of opinion because as I read the, oh, here, I'll turn my camera on. My hair okay? I hate to look unhandsome next to Shapu. Hey, he's got his cat. I don't have mine. I got knows where she is. So I got my book out, and oh, she left.
No, I'm right here.
We'll wait for Jen.
I'm right here.
No, it says in here that first they when Satan gets cast into the whatever, chained up for 1,000 years, and then it says that that's when Jesus they have the 1,000-year reign of Christ. You know, the rest of the dead will not live again until the 1,000 years were fulfilled. That's the first resurrection. And then after it, he's loose for a little season or whatever. And he goes out and deceives the nations. Then Gog and Magog gathered together to battle. And they went up on the breadth of the earth and compassed the camp of the saints about. I'm still believing in my theory that it's going to be Eden. And they've now encompassed Eden on earth, because it says right there on earth.
Yes.
The war hasn't happened yet. And then after it happens, let's see, it says the devil deceived them, was cast in the lake of fire and brimstone, where the beast and the false prophet are, and they'll be tormented, blah, blah, blah. Then they see the great white throne. Then the dead stand before God, and books were open. Another was open, which is the book of life. Everyone's judged, dead, alive. Everyone gets judged. Dead gives up its dead in the sea. Hell, everything gives up the dead, everything, because we all get judged at the same time. And then whoever was not found written in the book of life goes in the lake of fire. So final judgment happens. And then chapter 21 says the new heaven and new earth, he's going to have those pass away. And John sees the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming out from the heaven. So my difference of opinion only is in that area for his video there. We cannot see that coming. Not to say that they won't produce a fake one, because there's plenty of Christians or whoever reads the Bible, including myself. I wasn't sure about it. I had to double check it. And so I totally believe they would use that, even though I think it's incorrect according to Scripture. So, but I'm not knocking Alpha Talks. I think that he does wonderful videos. So.
Yeah, well, you know, it's all in how you interpret it and everything, but clearly something's going to happen, and it would be like Lucifer to deceive us into thinking that that is the enemy that's coming. You know what I mean? I've heard
how about this? I mean, I don't know if other people have talked about it, but I think about this one. If you wanted to have someone come down and deceive the masses more than anyone, and you want to create a falling away of the church, you want to do all these horrible things that are supposed to happen in the very last days, why not have whatever your savior, alien, demon creature look like the Jesus of all the paintings and stuff that we're all used to? You know, the one with the 6-pack abs and the nice cool beard and stuff, you know, and the beautiful hair. he's going to look just like that, right? Because we actually don't know what he looks like. That's just what all those paintings and all the history lies made us think he looks like. So if you see a guy like that,
Yeah.
aren't you going to accept him? Because they say, what is the Antichrist? Everyone's going to love, and he's beautiful. I mean, he would fit all those marks, right?
Right. Absolutely.
No one was listening because the cat was eating her hair.
I woke her up just to put her on camera. Now she wants all this attention.
Yeah, I'll do it myself.
Okay. So I showed this before you came on the show, and I wanted to show it to you because I think you might have seen it one time before, Ceiling Fan, but I'm just going to play it again real quick. It's this one right here. Can you see this?
Yes.
Look at this. This is all melted buildings. This whole thing. This drone footage here. This whole area. Look at that. Isn't that crazy?
That is.
Yeah. So I think I might have showed it to you a while back, but that's a really good one. Now, Shapu's got a bunch of videos and pictures and all kinds of stuff lined up, and we're going to get into your stuff now, Shapu.
And did you get, Shapu? I sent you an email. A guy, they'd opened up an old tree for some reason, and they found looks like an obelisk that goes like hundreds of feet down.
Oh, no, I didn't see it.
Oh, we got to see that.
I never checked my email. I'm sorry. It's been a week since I did it. So.
Take all that time converting it to French. And do you know about I know you and Steve did a lot of that sigil stuff, which you won't talk about here because obviously that takes a channel down now. But you guys covered the Seal of Solomon.
Yes.
7 seals.
Yeah, I can't find it right now, but Jeannie was looking at a thing that a guy took the Seal of Solomon and he superimposes it over the Google Earth picture of the Statue of Liberty, and it fits perfectly. And they even have like a shadow of the Statue of Liberty that fills in like the Solomon face and stuff.
What? And this is what you sent Shapu?
No, that's something we're trying to find. I couldn't find it
Okay.
before it came on, but I sent Shapu a thing about a tree that had an obelisk in it. Did you get?
Are you getting that email up, Shapu? I really want to see this.
No, yeah.
You had me at obelisk.
It's either that or Moai. So
Yeah, right. Moai are on the move. Where's Juan?
Yeah, where's Juan?
Juan Torres.
Oh, sorry, I didn't see a couple of emails.
Yeah, whatever. Nobody reads my emails. Nobody gives me a wrench. Wham. What was me?
Oh, you don't have a wrench?
No, I do. I'm just giving.
Okay,
That's
good.
what everyone always says. Where's my?
I get these new channels. I got to re-wrench everybody.
I don't know. Every time I turn on my channel, there's a new gen send. You know, you have all these different ones. So it's like.
I'm signed into one account on one thing and the other account on another thing, and
See, Red Storm saw that in Australia. He doesn't remember where either. But yeah, he put the Seal of Solomon on there. And that's the other thing. I'm reading books of Kings, which I find fascinating. And to the people that don't read the Bible or, Bible curious, there's a whole bunch. There's the books of Kings and the Chronicles, and the King 1 and 2, Chronicle 1 and 2. And it's the history of all the different kings and stuff that went throughout Israel.
Who let the dogs out?
All right. I'm on the phone.
Oh my God, I got something for that.
Everybody knows you never go full retard.
Wait a minute. Why did I get that one?
When I click that.
Yeah,
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
What I might have to do is I'll switch and just be like out on a phone or something. And
No, that's okay.
Yeah.
You're
But
fine.
no, when the people are coming in. What was I saying, though? It was really important and interesting. And
Oh,
it's
you were
going-
talking about the Seal of Solomon.
Yes, I'm reading the books of Kings again. And what's interesting is when God saved us from Egypt that one time, then they got all whiny and said, hey, how come we don't get kings like everyone else? And God's like, well, you have me. And they're like, we want kings. And all right. And so it's like we ask for these things, just like, what we have in the world we live in, right? It's all about consent. So he gave us kings. Some are good, some are bad. But Solomon This one blows me away because he's known as the smartest man that's ever lived and ever will live. God gave him all the intelligence ever a human has ever had. And what does he say? He tells him, just watch out for the women, okay? That'll be your downfall.
That's very true.
I want next Friday, this Friday, we're going to do a show. If you guys both want to be on it, it's going to be about how it's always it's all the woman's fault because I can prove it now. But
really? This is why you have an Adam's apple.
That's right. That's right. So check this out. Thank you very much. And it's very large Adam's apple. So you got he ends up with he doesn't listen to God. He ends up with 500 wives and I don't know, like 700 concubines and all these women. And then it says God even came to him 2 more times and said, dude, they're going to turn your heart from me and you're going to follow all these other gods and you need to stop. And he doesn't listen. And so that's like the fall. That's when God says, fine, I'm going to take the kingdom away from you. But since I promised it to David, it'll always be there. I'm going to make you all basically break up, fight for a while, and eventually I'll bring back the kingdom of David. And so that's why we've had this fighting in that area ever since, is because that's when it all breaks apart. And it all goes back to Solomon. And during those times, just like God predicted, they turned his heart away. They were praying to all these different gods and Moloch and all this stuff again. And that's where you get all these like occultish sides that you see coming out of Solomon. And that's what a negative side grabs onto and says, look, he had all these occultish things. I'm in slow motion on my weird.
You are. You're like.
Anyways, this is really wild. You can't talk about these things. So that's when all that negative stuff comes into play. And they only use that and show you that side of Solomon when it turned out he's the reason. To this day, there's some areas that never stop fighting. It's fascinating stuff. So, and then you take the seal of Solomon and it fits identically right over the Statue of Liberty on Google Earth. No coincidence.
Wow.
All right, I'm going to have to switch places here. So I'm going to dip out, as they say, and I'll be back.
Okay, we're getting that email ready.
I got it. I got that video ready. So we can.
All right, cool. Let's do it.
Show it.
Motherfucker.
All right, so now this is a tree with an obelisk inside it, right? Is that what we're talking about?
I don't know. We'll see.
That tree is clearly 300 years old, probably 200. But look at what we found inside.
What
is this?
Dude.
I got markings on it, but I don't know.
Well, clearly the obelisk was there before the tree. And how far down does that sucker go?
Anybody got any thoughts? Let us know. Leave some comments. Very curious, and we're very interested.
Are you kidding me right now? Look at this thing.
What is?
Yeah, I don't know if it used to go higher, but it looks like a part is broken off, or it's just the tip of it. I don't know.
It looks like that's the top part of it. And probably whatever is the rest of it's underground.
Is this?
But if the short season of Satan is 250 years, and this is a 200-year-old tree, it would make sense. Right?
That ain't natural.
Yeah. Pretty interesting.
Really interesting.
It doesn't say. I'd like to see like more pictures of this to really know that it's real.
It's a big old tree, though. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Let's know. Leave some.
Pretty interesting. Thanks, CFM.
Yeah, thank you, CFM. That was cool. Wow.
All right.
Dude, there's all kinds of stuff underneath of us. Like, like we have no idea literally what's going on underneath of us. They lied to us about everything. So, of course, they're going to lie to us about what's underneath of us. They lie to us about everything around us.
Yeah. Exactly. Reversed everything.
All right. Where are we going from here, Shippo? What
So
you got?
I think I'm going to take like a 2-minute break.
Okay, we can do that. Yeah.
You can show like I've put the video of Israel Tinma Park Desert. So
Okay.
I'll show this. It's 2 minutes 7 seconds.
Sounds good.
All right.
Okay, guys, we're going to play this video. Check it out, and we'll be right back. Are we back? We're back.
We are.
I missed the video, but I'll have to look at it later. I'm sure it was good.
I think I already sent you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, here she comes. Here comes a crazy woman. Crazy girl.
Hi, Freya. Yeah, this is live. Sorry you didn't have the notification, but
Oh, yeah. People aren't getting in.
we'll try to make time to do a video with Freya, Jen.
Yeah, absolutely.
She made couples. She got 2 video on her site talking about the melt, and maybe like interview her what she think. Would be nice. Fun time. But
Absolutely. I would love to have her on. I'm so grateful that everybody's waking up to this and making their own videos and getting the word out there and helping other people take their blinders off and see what's been right in front of their faces this whole time.
Yeah.
Again, like I said, if people start to try to tell you not to look at this, or you're crazy, or you're seeing things or whatever, you maybe should ask yourself why they're saying this to you, and maybe what their agenda is, because the evidence that we've presented over the last, how long have we been live streaming together? 1.5 years now.
Yeah,
it has been incredible. It's undeniable, and yeah, just I'm speechless about the whole thing. Every day, I'm even more and more shocked at the evidences that we find. I don't need any convincing. As a matter of fact, when I saw the Ritz-Carlton and those pillars sticking out of it that time, Jerry showed it. That's all I needed. It was like, I totally got it.
Yeah.
Oh my God. You okay? Where are you going? All right. What are we going to look at next, folks? I got a bunch of pictures and stuff. I know you got a bunch of pictures and more stuff. So
I don't know. Do you want to continue your stuff, or
I can go over to my pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let me do that. So let me get back into the screen share here. Okay. So these are just things that were in my search as I was searching out these locations in Israel, and I started to come across just a plethora of melted buildings and stuff everywhere. This says Arbel. Okay, excuse me. I think this is still in Israel, this location right here that we're looking at. Let me zoom in on it. Shapu, can you put us on big screen if we're not on that already?
Already.
Okay. All right. Again, guys, you can see the rectangular windows here. Rectangular windows like we saw in Tenerife in our Canary Islands Melted as Fuck live stream that we did. They seem to have a lot of rectangular size windows. And you see that in a lot of our buildings today, have large rectangular windows in these larger buildings and stuff, and skyscrapers and whatnot. But, you know, they always seem to look janky and weird. Why would they look that way? You know, can't they carve straight if they're carving this stuff?
Yeah.
Or is it getting warped out of shape because the building was superheated and melting? In my opinion, that's what was taking place here. There's no way across the whole plane, everybody is carving janky windows and doors everywhere. Everywhere you go. It doesn't matter where you're at. Everywhere you go. Janky windows and doors. Janky windows and doors. Janky windows and doors. All melted out. You can see the melt. It's everywhere. It's undeniable. Whether you're in Israel or you're in Pakistan or you're in Iraq or you're in the country of Georgia, and they say monks climbed up here and carved this stuff out so they would feel safer at night from invading armies. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, we did that video of the monastic cave. I don't have it on my channel yet, but
yeah,
I'll upload it soon.
La Costa del Israel, right here. La Costa del Israel, right here. We're looking at. Look at this. Look at this. Do you think they carved this like this, or do you think that this was a building and it melted? Put a 1 in the chat if you think some janky carvers came along, drinking some wine, and carved this out. You know, the ones from Petra. Or do you think that this is a melted building? Put a 2 in the chat.
One.
It's all across the plane. Everywhere you look, you can see it. And once you know what you're looking at, it all makes sense. It all makes sense.
Yeah.
Who's carving right here? Who's carving melted structures and melted steps? Who's carving this shit out to look melted? Are you kidding me right now? Okay. I'm just saying. It makes no sense at all. You can see the building slumped over. You can still make out the A-frame above the arch. These windows are all warped out of shape because this is probably the top part of the building. All this below it has already melted down and flowed away. Again, here, what do we got here? This is an apartment building. These are row homes right here. You're probably seeing the garages. Look, this one's a perfect rectangular right here. Pull your car up, get out of the car, go up into your house. Oh, it's all muffed up and melted. I guess we got to move.
Yeah.
Look at it.
Yeah.
I just love this stuff. I could do this shit all fucking day. All day long. It's melted. Nobody's carving that. There was no so ancient ocean here that whittled out all these holes and made it look like Swiss cheese over millions and millions of years. As a matter of fact, it looks to me like right here, leading up here and over into here and up are melted steps. You can see that there were steps going up here and they're melted. Oh, sorry. Click on that.
Yeah, and also these steps were probably inside the building at one point.
Exactly, Shapu. Yes, exactly.
The rest is you can see on the ground right in front. You know, it's all melted down.
Look at this. Nobody's carving this out like this. This is what they want you to think. Oh, yeah, they were carving this. Well, what's wrong with these people? They can't carve right? They can get right angles right here. Perfect. But over here, oh, no, all muffed up. Too much wine.
Yeah.
Look at this. What's this? Row homes? We got row homes right here. Look at this. You got your neighbor right next door, your other neighbor on the other side. I lived in row homes. Brick row homes. Melted right here. The whole neighborhood.
Yeah, it was all row homes back then. You know, it's all one building, all connected, like you see in the when you look at the old cities in France and England and a lot of places, they're all connected. It's all
absolutely
on one street. All buildings are touching. You know, it was the same.
This is in Turkey, but again, what are we looking at here? A high-rise apartment building? What is this? Look at all these windows and doors and apertures and rooms and stuff.
Yeah.
It's funny how nobody makes videos on how they carved all this janky, weird stuff. They just, oh yeah, it was just carved. Nothing to see here, carved.
Yeah, because if they're showing because they had to use bronze tool, and bronze it's not the toughest material. They would just break and need new tools like every day. That's
Right.
why they don't try it.
As I say that these are tombs. Some ancient people came along and wanted to bury their loved ones up in these things, so they carved them out. Again, if not for the windows and doors right here, you would think that this is just some natural outcropping of rock of some sort. But the evidence has always been here. It's always been all around us.
Yeah, these one they call like necropolis. Each time you see this, oh, it's a necropolis. Why would they carve a fucking hole in the mountain just to put the dead body?
Yeah,
It never
yeah.
made sense.
Necropolis, the city of the dead. It is the city of the dead, though, because they faced God's judgment. And then look, it didn't turn out so good for them. Didn't turn out so good. Who's carving janky windows and doors on the bottom of the ground right here, just like this? It's everywhere you go. It's everywhere. It's just everywhere.
Yeah.
Again, here, look, you can see the brick layers. They would say that these are sedimentary layers that took millions of years to form, but they're actually brick layers. These floors up here did not squish down on each other yet, like these ones down here. You can see that there was openings, but it's all squished down. Absolutely incredible, all this stuff. Again, here, look at this one. Look at this. You can see the interior spaces of the building. It looks like here's the kitchen, here's the living room. You go in, there's probably a game room back there. Here's, your neighbor's house over here. What's this? Oh, nothing to see here, just a melted building. And you can see it melting over itself like ice cream, all running down here, creating this rock curtain that would cover up everything that's under it. All this is melting down into the ground. What's this right here? Again, look at this. Janky windows and doors, but up here somebody was able to carve out a perfect arched door right here that's closed up. What's that there for? Where's that going? Here we go. There's more. You can see the floors, the different floors. Very reminiscent of the beach caves in Crete. Hell, beach caves anywhere. It doesn't even matter. You can look up beach caves all day long. Here, melted steps. Who's carving melted steps right there? Who's carving melted steps? Does anybody have an answer for me? Any of the deniers of meltology have an answer? Who's carving melted steps in melted buildings?
The story that they tell us. Yeah, the millions of people just walked up these stairs. That's why they're like this.
Yeah, it's a joke.
Wind and water erosion. Also, it's crazy.
Apparently, these monks in Georgia used the same people who did Petra and in Israel and everywhere else. Janky, weird windows and doors.
Yeah.
Again, here, look at this. You can see the melt. You can see the melting over itself and melting down in this mess. Here, you can see what looks like steps leading up here, right here. They're all melted, these little things.
Yeah.
Again, there's steps leading up this way that they don't allow you to use anymore. You can see these are melted. This whole thing is melting over itself like candle wax. Let me see here. This might be no, it's not a better picture. Look at this. What's this? Look at this. Look at this. Now, this isn't all in Israel, guys. I'm just showing you this is everywhere across the plane. We did just look at Israel, but again, it's everywhere. And I'm just clicking on pictures and I'm getting more and more and more as I go down here.
I can go back to Israel. I got some stuff if I want to present.
Definitely. Yeah, we're going to do that.
I got 2 hours right now.
This is in Turkey, this place, I believe. You're seeing the whole half of a building right here, the interior spaces of what's left of the half of this building. You think people are climbing up here, carving out? See the rectangular spaces? This is your living room right here. See, you go upstairs. This is your bedroom. Go over here. You're going to knock on your neighbor's door and borrow some sugar. Go down here. You're going to run into a geologist and knock his ass out. And then go over here and talk to the archaeologist and tell him he don't know what the fuck he's talking about neither.
Exactly.
Oh, what do we got here? And I got the penthouse suite up here. Look at this. Look at all this. Janky windows and doors over here, but over here we got a nice square one and a rounded one. Like Shapu said, this is the interior space of the building that you're seeing. The rest of it's gone. It's gone now. And here's another one. It's everywhere you go. Doesn't matter. You don't even need to name the countries anymore at this point. You know what I'm saying? It's just it's crazy. All right, let me just go over to this one real quick.
I only do it on the group just for people to go look at it. I don't really need the places, but if you want to go look at it, you need the place exactly. So
this is inside a Bell Fortress, which is a total building. You can see these brick lines. You saw it in that video when the guy went into this space here, and they have other. Oh wait a minute, let me see. Go up here. This is a straight-on view of that supposed fortress. But again, the whole thing is a building. You can make out there is many different floors on here. At least 10 to 12 floors that we can make out right here. God only knows what melted down it and out over here below us. But it goes all the way across, just like Tenerife. All right, so let me, what's this? Look at that. Look at these brick lines. This looks identical to that ziggurat.
Yeah.
That ziggurat, the core of that thing that they say it looks like a natural butte, but it's not. Here, I'll even pull it up. Let's see here. Let me see. Where's my favorites? Oh, that's not it. Here. This one? Okay. Let me see here. Here we go. Look. Ziggurat of Dur. And if anybody hasn't seen it, I don't know why this thing's on me.
Yeah,
So
just close your tab on the right, the X that you just opened up.
Okay.
On the right, right there.
Okay. All right, so this enormous structure rising over the desert sands near the Euphrates River resembles a sandstone butte, but is actually made of mud brick. Well, I disagree. I think it was made of red brick, but still. Do you see what they're saying are sedimentary layers? You can see them right here. Yeah. This is the core of a building that is melted away. This building, look, you're seeing the interior spaces of what's left of the core of this melted building, which is an admitted building. It's a ziggurat. But it happens to resemble a sandstone butte. Now let's go back over here to this picture.
Motherfucker.
Where's that one up?
We needed it.
I lost my picture. Anyway, look at this one. Look at this motherfucker right here. Excuse my language, but just look at it. Okay? Wow. Just wow. What's going on here? Got this one. Again, they just can't seem to carve out windows and doors that are straight and rectangular like normal. It's just all janky and weird. Nobody has any information on that. But clearly, once you realize that the melt is a factor here, you better understand what it is you're looking at and why it looks like this.
This is
what we found is melted glass spherules. So this is our first clue that some high temperature event had happened. What we found is melted glass spherules. So this is our first clue that some high temperature event had happened.
Temperature sufficient to melt Earth, basically. Is that what you're saying? Hot enough to melt a car into a molten puddle of metal in the parking lot. Right.
I love that, Shapu.
Yeah, I just love what you did with it.
That's one of your favorites, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, again, this is what sparked the whole Israel thing for me was Abel, Israel. You can see that this massive ridge here of what they say is natural formation just carved out to be some type of fortress was actually a whole building. And there's much more of it that we're not seeing now because now we're seeing the melted out version of it.
Below and up top,
And
Should
on
have
that note,
been much more higher, and it goes really deep. So
absolutely. God only knows what's going on underground in Israel. We have to tackle that one day.
yeah.
I did see some stuff underground, but places like that have to have stuff going down.
Oh, didn't you have the tour inside of the? Is it this one? It goes inside of the cave. Oh yeah, we can play this one.
Okay, sweet. We have 34 people here. Welcome, everybody. What's he saying? It's quite a drop. Our first clue that there was an extreme temperature event or whatever he says there. Is that your first clue? Really? Your little glass spherules? Is that your first clue? Look at what I just showed. Give me a fucking break. Hot enough to melt a car in a molten pool of fucking whatever. Johnny's tardy? Oh my God, Johnny. Hold on. We got something to
Johnny.
know. Yeah, jeez. Wow.
Don't be shy for the party.
I don't feel tardy.
You're 2 hours and 21 minutes late. You are staying after class. You need to take notes off of Melanie, catch up, and we're going to have a test on Friday.
And you know what? I won't show it. I didn't see that it was like 23 minutes, but I'll probably show that.
Welcome to the party, pal.
All right, here we go.
Yeah.
We're in Israel, right?
Yeah, this is the tunnel that goes from the outside of Jerusalem into the inside of it. And you can see it's all bricks, melted bricks, and water running down there also.
Oh, yes. Yes, I remember watching this. This was crazy. Going through this water.
Yeah, you send it to me.
And it's all fresh water, too, guys. Do you ever wonder where all the fresh water comes from? I think the salt water had something to do with the building melt and possibly the ash from the buildings turning to salt.
Yeah, the water was probably all fresh before any kind of event. And the melting from the brick and ash and mortar created the salt in the water.
Woliska salt mines in Poland, I think it is really crazy. I covered that a few channels ago. We'll have to cover that again. Woliska salt mine. That is, the whole thing is a building.
Yeah, this one it goes all over. You can see clearly the lines.
And look at how clear the water is.
Yeah, it's all purified. And when it comes out the other end is like inside the city.
Everything's interconnected.
Yeah. And it goes like this, like for 20 minutes. And when it comes out, now just the plate, but you can see the melt.
Uh-huh.
But the outside is what is really interesting. You can see the blocks here, still exposed, and there's this wall just broke off.
Oh, is that brick?
Yeah.
Wow.
And you get inside the city of Jerusalem.
Wow. So cool. Unbelievable. Look at that.
Yeah. All world system. But
you think this is a joke?
This is a pretty good example of what happens to
sedimentary layers, Chapeau.
Yeah, exactly, Chad. brick sedimentary layers.
Sedimentary layers.
You can clearly see how these bricks turn to stone right here. It's a pretty good example.
Yep.
because the mud flood doesn't change brick into rocks. Those people that go look at this, all of this was brick, but now you can see just remains of pebbles, rock, and sand,
Yep.
depending on how hard it was hit.
It's ground down now, so they call
by
it.
this by this frequency changing thing. But you can see that this one made it really good.
Oh yeah,
Still
hold on, let me make that
embedded.
up here. I see it. Yep. Yeah, that's a good one. Even within that pocket there, you can see it embedded in the wall deeper.
Yeah,
that one pocket there.
You can even see, look, there's a more brick.
Yeah, in there. Yep. Yeah.
But what created all of this earth to get there? It's the destroy and the melted of the buildings that created what they call mud floods and stuff like this. We see today some mud volcanoes that come out from the ground and everything, but it's probably a remaining effect of what happened. Because every dirt, every mud, every sand came from these buildings.
Yeah, look at that. You can see it right there.
Yeah.
Look at that. Now see that arch that they just panned off of right there? If that would have melted, they have like Arch National Park and stuff in Utah and everything. Arches National Park and everything.
Yes.
Yep.
Exactly. And why most of them survive is because of the shape, it evenly distribute the weight, so it's less affected by the piezo effect.
I think that there was old maps of the way the world was before the melt, and they know what all this stuff was. That's why they know where to get the gold out of and where it's at, and they own all the big mines and everything, mining these buildings. Look at that.
Look at this. Right in the middle of Jerusalem city. It goes down and down and down. It was all covered by this melt.
God only knows how far down it goes.
Yeah.
We don't know where ground level is. We really don't.
No, we've seen it with the temple in India. Remember what they call the inverted temple?
Yes, that thing is crazy. Dude, somebody found something, he started digging, and it just kept going and going and going. They're like, what is this?
They never reached the bottom yet. So they just stopped because it's still going. But nobody...
Like, how the hell are we going to explain this one?
Yeah,
what narrative are we going to stick on this?
Yeah. Look at this. It really goes down. This really survived really good.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why some parts do really good. I don't know if they were underwater or something. I don't know. And some places, like when they're deep, they pretty survive good, and some places don't. I don't know how it works. Really.
Well, if it's like that, what's that thing with the lightning? It branches out.
Yeah, Lichtenberg.
Yeah, it could be like that, where a little section's hit hard, and the other side, between that section and another section that got hit hard, there's that survival,
Yeah. But sometimes you can find like the top part like more melted. That like this look, the top part looks like more melted than the bottom one.
Right.
I don't know. Some type of protection or something they had. We don't know really.
We don't have the answers for everything. Just like when we were talking about flat Earth, and the Globers would be asking us all these crazy questions. We're trying to figure all this out. What is clear and definite is that there was an extreme heat event and things melted and solidified rather quickly.
Yeah.
All right, what's this?
Yeah, this Del Nigero, and just show you that our hills and all of mounds are actually building just like erodium. can see aperture there. They just dug up the top of it, but all of it is structure.
Oh, imagine that. They just started digging this hill and like, oh, oops, it's structure.
Yeah.
The whole thing, structure. Look at it.
All melted here.
Wow. And remember in Italy, those people thought that those were just hills and they turned out to be pyramids?
Yes. Yes.
Look at this sucker. Wow. This is just like Herodium.
Yeah, we'll take a look at Herodium.
Yeah, we got to look at Herodium. We got to tell, if anybody's here who doesn't know about Herodium, your mind's going to be blown. Wow.
Yeah, this one. Look at this.
Wow, look how down it goes. Look how far down it goes in there.
Yeah.
Wow,
They
dude.
just
Wow. That's incredible right there. Look at all these apertures and doors on the outside of the rim here even. Looks like there's stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, all of this.
Wow.
You can they just dug one section here. You can see that it's all bricks and blocks on either side.
Unbelievable. Look at that wall. Oh.
Yeah. It goes
Yeah,
down.
look, it
here.
goes down even further and goes
Yeah.
straight into this thing.
Even-
They probably go straight into it, and there's all kinds of openings.
Yeah, you can see it's even lower than the hill.
Mm-hmm.
And the structure, you can clearly see. Block wall.
Absolutely. Wow.
It's the entire place. It goes all over.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty interesting, this one. I don't have. Do you have like the Herodium? Or
I don't
can.
know. I don't have-
Yeah, I
no.
can go get it
Okay.
because I shared it to you, I think. Yeah, the link from the video of Herodium. Yeah, I think so. So this is another place, Mount Grissom. It looks like a bit like Sexy Woman. Sexy Woman.
Sexy woman?
Yes, Sexy Woman.
Okay, you shared Herodium with me. I'm trying to look for it here.
Okay. This rounded thing there. You will see when it gets, yeah, like this. But again, all the hill, it's all building.
Just like Herodium. Just like Herodium. And this is in Israel, guys. Herodium is in Israel as well. This is King Herod's fortress. Not this one particular one, but
Yeah, it's probably is another one of his fortresses.
well, yeah, at least that's who they're pinning it on anyway.
Yeah.
All right, let me see here. Find this. Oh, here it is. It's a Facebook page, right?
Oh no, I think
I got the video. I got the video. Yeah. Okay, I got it up. Where are we at here?
Yeah. So this one is another interesting place. And look how the hill right down to there. Also, below these buildings, probably more ruins. All of this, but like we do today.
Yeah, they just build on top of it.
Exactly. We just build on top of old world structures because it's the most solid, you know.
We don't know if this particular one right here that we're looking at is King Herod's. I'm not sure, but when we look at Herodium, it'll be King Herodium named after Herod.
Pants, you're late.
Yeah, you are late. What's up with that? You have to stay after class.
I don't feel dirty.
Don't be sorry for the party.
All right, Jen, did you want to show the
Yeah.
the
All right.
All right.
Let me get in the screen share here. Higher screen. Share. Here it is here. All right. Am I good? Am I up?
Yes.
Okay. All right, guys, this is Herodium. If you're new to the channel and you don't know what we're talking about here, this is a hill that is supposed to be a hilltop fortress, but the whole hill is the fortress. And it was forgotten about for quite some time until somebody went up here and started poking around and realized, oh, this whole thing's a structure. It's not just some big hill that happens to look like a volcano, by the way.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm going to kill this music. All right, here we go.
I still don't hear it.
Oh, I probably never had volume on it anyway. Okay, guys, this is Herodium. Now let's just stop it here and take a look at it. Does this not look very Vesuvius looking? Vesuvius in Italy. Yeah. Now, everything you see running down the side here, flat top, and then running down the side here, all of this is building. There was not a natural hill here that they came along and built into and onto and stuff. The whole thing is man-made. And look, it says between 23 and 15 BCE is supposedly the time frame. Okay, give me a break. What do you see this thing? Okay, let's pause it right here. Look at that. Does that not? I have things in my area that look just like this. I've climbed up one of them, by the way. And this is very volcano looking. When we covered volcano architecture, remember that, Chapu?
Yes.
That's a good one.
You got so much stuff to upload on your channel. I still got many videos live that we did that I don't have on my channel because I didn't upload any one this week. Probably tomorrow I'll put a new one.
Yeah, we got to do the volcano architecture one. That was really good.
Yeah. I'm probably still like 20 shows behind on my channel. So
I'm not bragging, but we do put out some good shows. Okay, right here. Who's carving melted steps? Did you see the melted steps right here? Let's go back. Let me go back a little. Sorry. Oh, it's so quick. Let me pause it when it comes up. Again, melted steps. A couple of them look okay. The rest look melted, kind of wore out.
Yeah. So this is the inside of the hill that we just saw. Like, what's it called again? Erodium.
Yep. Look at this, guys. This whole thing is a building. The whole thing. I know it's hard to comprehend, but they even admit it. This whole thing is a building. Okay? Just saying.
Yeah, I'll show pictures that before they dug the side of it, they didn't know. Once they start digging, you know, they found like this, an amphitheater at the bottom, some temples, what they call temples, everything. And they call this a royal passageway. Probably there was a big waterfall for the water coming from the bottom down this.
Oh, yeah.
At one point. It looks to me like it would be. Because they all need water, you know.
Exactly, yeah.
And my new theory of these giant water towers before the melt, we're holding all the fresh water for everyone.
The whole thing's the building.
Yep.
Oh, what was that coming up next? The mystery of the millennial reign? Hold on. Alpha Talks. Let's. I'm just gonna have to play.
I think we've seen it. This one already.
Yeah, but this is a really good one. It's 16 minutes long. You know what? I'll just drop it in the chat for anybody who hasn't seen it because we got to keep moving along here. But that is a really good one.
Yeah.
Right, here we go.
So I think what we're gonna do next, just look at some pictures.
Yeah, I'm always down for pictures.
Of places, melted aqueduct, and stuff like this.
I love the melted aqueducts. Hey, what's up? Are you late? Have you been here?
Who? Annette? Oh, I think
Yeah,
she's late.
She's late. All right, girl.
Don't be tardy for the party.
You're gonna have to take notes. Get some notes from Melanie and Juan. You're gonna stay after class. You're 2 hours and 39 minutes late, girl.
Yeah. All right. So Mount Arbel, we've already seen it. So we'll start with this one. Le Destroy of Altitude.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, it's a French word. I don't know why, but
and this is in Israel.
Yes. And it's called the Destroy. Look
at that.
There's some remains of the
it looks
place.
Like part of Starford, even maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, probably at one point. But you will see the remains that are there are really like melted blocks. Look at this. Because there's a castle that I was showing.
Oh yeah.
This one here.
Right.
You can see it at in the background here. But this is on the coast.
Wow.
And you can see the remains of melt. Now, you would think that it's only a natural rock formation, but...
Yep, but we know better now.
Yeah, if you look closely, you will find like blocks between all the space everywhere. And things like this. They say it's a megalith block carved out, but actually it was one pieces of brick like this, but now it looks like it's a full one, but it wasn't, because this event fuses all of these brick, because all of these bricks have all the a covering on top of it like stucco, and the heat just makes it come fuse all together. And you can see that it goes really down.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't carve that or build that like that. It looks like some coral rock from underwater or something.
Yeah, what they call coral like this. But look, again, what we see everywhere in Petra. This is the castle that's left. What remains of it. I think I've got like a close-up. Yeah. Now people just put trash in there, but you can clearly see all this.
Okay, yeah, look at that. These are not sedimentary layers. These are brick layers. Looks exactly like China Wall, where they scuba dived in Hawaii. That China Wall as well.
Yeah. Oh, this is just an etching, but you can clearly see these one. Yeah, but these one, I don't know when they were built. They were like sandbags. That looks like bricks now. But they say it was made by the Nazis. Like here, look, these are sandbags, but now look like rocks.
Wow.
It's not that old, because they say they were bunkers made not so long ago. But I don't.
Yeah, but what's not so long ago? 250 years?
Yeah, I don't know. But in this one, you can clearly see here, like brick line, and I don't know.
Little brick up there.
This red here, yeah.
And all these little windows.
Yeah. They would call like pigeon niches. I don't know.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Pigeon niches.
Like, who would put like block if this was carved out of the mountain? Again, but once you see it, you can see it's all the same thing. But you can clearly see that this just melted in one piece now, but was all blocks.
Look, those diagonal holes going up. Look, it could have held stairs there or something, like wood. You know.
Yes.
Something.
Yeah. They will tell you that it was wood. They would put like places of wood to hold up, but I'm not sure about that. But all of this coral, if it was underwater.
Yes.
I have like other, like this one's pretty good.
Yeah, because you can see the transition even.
Yeah. You can see that all these brick blocks, rocks. You can see they look like coral, but only that the surface here. All of this was the same. And then the look at the place, what's left of it, And it's a big complex, all one building.
Yeah, melted as fuck.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Clearly see inside of it.
Look at that melt right there. Yeah. Wow.
You can. Oh shit.
Wow, that's crazy melt. That's a messy melt right there. And look at the edge. It looks like a star fort.
Yeah, right here you can see it. Like pointed.
So this
right
part
here.
of the building here in the center has melted away and down and out.
Yeah.
The rest of this building and pockets of survival over here.
Yeah. Just like ice cream in a bowl.
That's right. Wow, that's a good one.
You can clearly see the melt go, and here another part of the building.
And what can't we see underwater? You know what I mean? I mean, how much more is there underwater? We've covered underwater melt plenty of times.
Yeah. Top part of the place. Again. So this was it for this Altit fortress. But let's go to this juice here, this melted aqueduct.
All right.
That is called, what is it called? Caesarea. They attribute it to the Romans again.
But this is in Israel, right? Or no?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes, all of this that I'm gonna show is in Israel.
I love melted aqueducts. Who's building melted aqueducts? Anybody? No.
But we all know that aqueducts were all built with bricks, and blocks.
Great.
But look here, this is the top part. But look at the bottom one.
Yeah, see that they'll say they're sedimentary layers, but they're the brick layers. And look at the rock on top of these blocks. They're fused together. You can see little bricklets in there.
Yeah, you can still see the red into these old here, what they call like coral rock.
Yes.
How they
rock,
say
all that stuff, or shale rock. They call it shale rock.
Yeah.
All this. They have all these names. This is what geology was meant for, to name all this stuff to throw us off. It's just melted fucking brick.
Yeah, you can clearly see on this one that it is melted bricks, because you can
and
see
that one right there, that top
there.
rock, that big top rock is melted into the other one right next to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Because this, if you separate in two, it's two layers of this, but now it's one, just all fused together.
The brick goes block. That's right.
Yeah. Here
there's different levels and stages to this heat damage, guys.
Yeah.
You want to see different levels of heat damage? Look at Pompeii.
Yeah.
Volcanic ash did not do that to that city.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
This aqueduct, you know how big they are usually, but look at this. All the blocks just started to change form.
How does this whole thing change its formation, but over in the arch it retains its block form there perfectly, but right next to it you think they put in some kind of different rock that melted away over here on its own? I mean, come on. I mean, this is just, they did not make it this way originally. It was hit by an extreme heat event.
Yeah, this is the same one, but now look at the arch where it is.
Wow.
The top part is just...
When we talk about the extreme heat and the different levels of heat damage, the bottom part or sometimes the top part could get more heat than the lower part or the above part of it. And it'll look like one large piece melted into each other, one big block. Look at that, Chapu. That is amazing. Okay? Yeah. Right there. You got to make it make sense, guys. And the only thing that makes sense is extreme heat did this at some point.
Yeah. But if I go up, look at these terracotta.
What's that?
Yeah. Broken part, but inside of it, it's all terracotta.
And what's terracotta mean? Cooked earth.
Yeah.
Right, Lulu? She's sitting on the back of my chair.
See, like these one.
They look like little portico windows.
Yeah, but they were all the piping for the...
Oh, it's the piping. I got you. So it ran through there, and that's the part that's not broken half. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
But this melted arch right here, we don't usually see arches melted.
Yeah.
Okay, this is extreme heat. It's drippy right there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And then it solidified mid-melt and hardened and stayed that way. And this is what we see. This is the end product of the extreme heat event. We call it X factor, God's judgment. And I think this was in the very recent past, guys, at least 250 years ago, in my opinion, maybe 300.
Yeah, this one is crazy. You can really see like the flowing here. It started from here and flowed down. What we would call them stalactite.
Mm-hmm.
Again, same part of this aqueduct.
Yeah, let's pause it right here because we have melted brick wall flowing right into what they say are sedimentary layers. These are not sedimentary layers. What these are more cooked out bricks. And you can see the bricklets there, little tiny bricklets laying around everywhere embedded within this supposed sedimentary layers that transitions right into what looks like janky rock, but it was actually red brick.
Yeah.
For the extreme heat event.
Yeah. All this sand was part of this.
That's right. Now, this is where geologists and archaeologists come and slam right into each other, okay? Yeah. And then they're like, oh, what are you doing here? And they're like, oh, well, what are you doing here? Well, I got a wall here from ancient times. Oh, I have millions of years of sedimentary layers right here.
Yeah,
I mean, come on.
That's why when you say the meltology glues all of things together, this is the perfect example.
Exactly, dude. Without meltology, we would still be buying this ridiculous narrative of geology and archaeology, as far as I'm concerned. And, our eyes have been opened to this new level of truth, and it's undeniable. So we have to question everything.
Yes. And this is the end part of the end part where it ends for us.
For us, yeah.
Continued at one point.
The rest of it go.
Yeah. Same aqueduct, but it didn't get heat.
It could have been much higher. This ground level is all ground out and turned to sand now. So I mean, this thing could have been even up higher. Remember, we used to see in Rome the 3 and 4 level aqueducts.
Yes, there's more than 3 levels in some places. Crazy.
Yeah, I mean that's insane.
Yeah, you can clearly see they didn't cut out coral to make these. They were all bricks. Because I've got like another part.
And look, go back a picture. I'm sorry. Please go back a picture. It looks like it had plaster over the whole thing too.
Oh yes.
Its original coating. A lot of these brick structures.
All of them.
Yeah, including the star forts, guys. And we've covered this. You can find this old whitewash coating over the brick, and it's an insulator because brick stores energy. And this is why they had the white cities and all this stuff.
Yeah. That's the story of the pyramids. That thieves just came and stole all the covering.
Yeah.
But
they said that there were white coatings over them, and they glistened in the sun or something.
But I don't know how they could have done it because when I showed the pictures of the pyramids, it's all fused together.
Yeah, I think that whatever coating was on it just melted away. That's what we're seeing at the base of the pyramid, spread out from it. You look at the floor of the outside of the pyramids; they are melted as fuck.
Yeah. So I don't know what this column's doing there, but
well, if it has some kind of technical purpose and not just like what we look at columns with a statue on it or something like it. This could be like a lingam stone, what they call in India, but it's actually it's almost like a mini dejed column right there. There could have been water flowing around it. If this is an aqueduct, this will contribute to the electrical charge of what they're doing with this grid system.
Could purify with the
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
It's a perfect example of these pipes, these old pipes, terracotta pipes going through it. But look at the melt of this
place was glorious. It was a millennial reign, and I think all this stuff is from that time period. I mean, I could be wrong about that, but the level of buildings and structures that were just take this aqueduct for instance.
Yeah. Because they attribute all these aqueducts to the Romans.
Yeah, and what they'll do is see how muffed up looking it is. They'll say it's old. That's how the more muffed up it is, the more older it is.
Yes.
But actually, this is all from the same time period, in my opinion. It's just this got hit harder. But because it looks so janky and muffed up, they'll say it's ancient, but it's not. Wow, look at that. That's just one big messy melt.
Yeah, you can see that there were more than one channel of water going through this.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
And you see it.
And it probably had a whole cover over it, too. It was probably all nice and everything. And, we're seeing the innards of it now because it's melted and muffed up.
Yeah. Same thing. This energon generator, I guess.
Look at the ceiling now. Look at it. Look at how melted it is.
Wow. You can still see one block here, like the keystone block in the middle of the arch. But the rest is just undiscernible from a rock wall carved in blocks. Again, this is part of the same aqueduct I just showed. You can see it goes really far.
Really far. Yeah, really, really far. Wow.
Let's see.
Look at all that janky rock up there, okay? They would not build this thing with all this janky, crazy rock up top.
Yeah.
It was all brick at one time. This is all heat damage.
This is the same vicinity of the aqueduct. The aqueduct is like behind here.
This looks like a brick beach.
Yeah.
Look at this. The building just melted off into the water part, or the water came in later. I have a theory, because I think this last flood maybe had something to do with the fail-safe system, like a sprinkler system. If the extreme heat event is coming up from the bottom, heat rises. We are under a dome. That dome could possibly be some ice crystalline structure of some sort. And when the heat rises and hits it for a period of time, it will shed and come down as rain, maybe even 40 days of rain. Who knows? But it would be a sprinkler system to cool all this stuff down and solidify everything. It's what seems look like mid-melt even. Like within the process of melting, it hardened, it solidified.
Yes. Not only that, also the heat process creates condensation, and a lot of rain. And also what I think that there were like these giant water towers. When they melted, they released all the fresh water everywhere also.
That could be.
So multiple factors.
We have to theorize about and brainstorm this out, and because they're not going to tell us, and we'll just never really know.
Look what we do with these old world. Look at how destroyed it is. how can you destroy something like this? Look how thick it is.
Wow. Yeah,
No,
look, it's
no.
thick with brick, just like we've seen down in the slate mines where we show you the they say they're slate mines, but it looks like they built a whole city down there. And the walls are thick with brick that turn to slate.
Yeah. And these type of bricks, Kairos just showed us in the walls in California. They did the same effect.
And look, it's still kind of, you can see the indentation of where it was through the mortar lines.
Yeah.
We saw that same thing up at Mount Cheeha on the side slab of that rock that Jeremy had shown. He showed pictures of it.
Yes.
Again, you can still see the mortar in here as well in this old wall.
Yeah. Yes. And you can see here that these bricks got squished by the weight of the building when it was like softened by the frequency change, not fire heat, but like a frequency, like electrical.
Yeah.
Because most people, when we call melt, it's involved like fire and heat, but no.
Now we're talking about next level heat that you can't even imagine, well over 10,000 degrees in my opinion.
Yeah.
Bricks melt at what? I forget what it was, 3,000 degrees or something.
Yeah. All right, another section.
I mean, before Meltology came along, nobody even thought bricks could even melt. And when we did start talking about it, we got a lot of shit for it. Then people thinking we're saying we're crazy, but yet we kept showing proof. More and more proof. Look at all this proof right here.
Yeah, Fort Reserve it's a bit the best example of this.
Yep, and I have that. I'm going to get it ready because I have it on my wall, and I definitely want to show people who are new and here for the first time.
You remember, Jen, when I showed like when you put mercury on aluminum?
Yeah.
When you drop it creates like these type of structures going up. This is what reminds me of this. Maybe there was a chemical reaction when the melt came. That's why it looks like this.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Can we stay on this picture and let me screen share real quick?
Yes.
Since we just talked about bricks melting, and there's probably some new people here, who probably never really seen what melted brick looks like. And they're having a little hard time wrapping their head around all this. Okay, so this is a fort in Russia. It's out in the middle of bumfuck nowhere, okay? Yeah. It's like on an island in the middle of nowhere in some ice tundra. So they can put whatever narrative they want on this. In my opinion, this went through the X Factor event. The narrative that they have on this fort is that it had a napalm-like substance. They don't say it's napalm. They say it was a napalm-like substance, which gets to extreme heat, I think around 6,000, 7,000 degrees or something. And it accidentally went off in here, and this fire was raging in here of this napalm-like substance and melted everything. Again, can bricks melt? Yes, they can. This fort is made of brick, 100% top to bottom made of brick. Everything you see here on the ceiling was brick. As you can see, it looks like what we call stalactites today. But even in their melted state, melting and dripping down off the ceiling, you could still make out the straight brick lines between each layer all the way down the wall coming down here. We call or geologists would call these, if we weren't in this fort, sedimentary layers. But here we know we're in a fort. Again, you can see the bricks kind of running down the wall here, melting out of their spots and getting real drippy and runny and coming down all through here. Let me go to the next picture real quick. Okay, here is the close-up look of bricks melting off the ceiling. Yes, they are melting off the ceiling like wax. So
Yeah.
Bricks can melt. If you didn't think they could, they can, and they do, and they will.
Yeah. And they weren't made out of chocolate. So.
Right. Exactly. This was all brick. You can't tell it was all brick at this point, but now that we know what we're looking at, we know that this was all brick. This is in that fort. Let me go back a page. Right here, you can see this is all melted brick, but this part right here, like this bottom part of this wall, you can't even tell that it's brick anymore.
Yeah.
It's just that. And we see this everywhere you go all around the plane, this type of stuff. Okay, now this part of the star fort still has some of its whitewashing on it. It hasn't melted off all the way. You can see it here. Still clinging on to it. So we know that this place was covered with a whitewash. We can also see holes in the wall here where bricks have already come out of their spot and left a vacant spot here. But again, you can still make out all of the layers of the bricks. Up here, you can see above the archway how cooked out and black the brick has gotten, how it's melted down over each layer of itself, and it almost looks like it's turning into slate at this point.
Yes.
So you have many different heat levels happening in all these different. This room got it the worst. Now check this out, guys. On the left side of the wall here, it actually went vertical and created these heat striations. If we were in a cave or some tunnel, that whatever, they would say that these are pickaxe marks. They are not pickaxe marks. They're heat striations. The brick layers that were going horizontal have now gone vertical. The frequency of heat's coming up through it. You can see the ceiling has completely melted out. It's all completely cooked out. Yet, even in this melted state, you can still make out each layer of brick all the way through. We were out in the world and this was melted down more. They would say that this was millions of years of sedimentary layers. Look at the wall, how it's running down itself. Even though it's melting, you can still make out the straight brick line layers. Go to the next one. There's another part where it's extreme heat damage. If you look at the ceiling, you can see the bricks have now melted out of their location. Only the mortar lines are left there, and you have a vacant spot. You see these all over inside what they call the volcano Vesuvius, which I have proved is an actual building and not a volcano. Here you can see on this side of the wall, the bricks are actually melting down over themselves, and this has been under extreme heat. Way more than this part right here. Same here. This got the same kind of heat damage as down here, but in the middle we have this section that's surviving somehow. Or either that, this outer layer may have fallen off, and we're seeing innards because this wall is very thick with brick. Each arch over and wall is like, I don't know how many feet thick of brick. Okay, this is supposed to be the heart of the napalm accident, whatever they say. The floor has completely melted away, which was made of brick, because this whole star fort is made of brick. Again, you could still, even though it's cooked out and melted, you could still make out the layers of the brick all the way through it. How that happens, I don't know, but it does. It happens everywhere. Here you can see the brick actually running down the wall over itself like wax. That's right. And we're talking about well over 6,000 degrees, probably upwards of 10,000 degrees. How long did this thing, their narrative, how long it burnt for, I don't know. But for me, it's part of the X Factor event. And this was probably a very quick event. When it hit these areas, it happened very quickly and then solidified quickly. The reason I think it happened quickly is because of the way the solidification is on these things. They solidified mid-melt. It will stay this way forever. It would be hard to even knock this thing down because everything is melted into itself, and it's even stronger now than just being in its brick form the way it was.
Yes.
The floor is completely cooked out. This was all brick. It's nothing now. It's just, and then you can make out the floor down below it is also brick as well. Here's a closer look. You can see that the brick here has turned into these little tiny bubbled out stones, like embedded in there. It was all brick, all running down the wall on itself here. Even like I said up top, you could still make out the layers. And we see these lines everywhere up on Mount Sheehall. They call them quartz crystal veins, but they're always paralleling each other perfectly, just like this. And the same space, like parallel spaces between them. Okay, so that's that. I'm going to give it back over to Shapu. That was just a quick rundown on melted brick in case anybody missed it before, like 3 channels ago when we covered it.
Yeah. Yeah, this place is great for showing the melt, that bricks can actually melt.
Yep. And they did. They sure did.
Yes. All right. So am I still screen sharing?
Yeah, here we go. All right, you're up.
All right. So, yeah, I think just a closer look of these. Again, another section that this arch almost closed up. You can see sometimes that these arches closed up. You can see this one filled over and close it itself.
Yeah, it's melting over itself right there. You can see it.
Yeah. Again, another section.
Who's building melted arches, guys? I don't know. It was the style back then.
Yeah.
Clinker bricks.
Yeah, with the clinker bricks.
Can you believe those jackwagons tried to debunk meltology with clinker bricks? Give me a freaking break. It's going to take more than fucking clinker bricks to put down meltology, guys. Meltology is too cool for school.
Yeah. Again, another section goes on and on. This one is really another destroyed one because they destroyed parts of it. This same place. Another section, just melted piece.
You know what we should look at too, real quick? King Aragon's steps.
Yeah. Yeah.
That whole thing leading up to the steps before you even get to the steps is all melted buildings.
Look at this section here. Then.
Oh wow! That little section there got obliterated. Look at it.
Yep. Yep.
If somebody can't tell that that's melted, I don't even know what to say to you at this point. I think we've showed enough freaking proof. I don't know how you can't see it.
Yeah, exactly. Even see like it touched this part here.
Yeah, you can see those rocks right there transitioned right into the melt.
Yep.
Wow, Shapu, you got great stuff.
Thank you. But I think I've shown this stuff on a previous show, but it's always good to relook at some pictures.
Oh, look at this! See how the brick was perfectly made. This is what Pompeii was like.
Yeah. Can clearly see these brick as still the red in it, but these ones did not. They were
starting to get that yellowish look.
Yes.
But look at how janky the brick looks in this wall closest to us here. You right there.
Yeah,
all that. It's cool how the bird's right there. Is that an owl or a bird? I can't tell. It looks like an owl. It's an owl. Wow.
Yeah, an owl. Yeah.
That's so cool. Look at this melted mess on the ground.
Yeah, I think they covered something. I don't think it's original.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
But I might be wrong. I don't know, because I know that at some place they covered stuff with cement just to.
Yeah, they did some of that over by Kairos.
Yeah.
They tried to hide all that brick that inside of that mountain was all brick, and they tried to pour that shit over it.
Yeah.
Or spray it up on there or something.
Yeah, they did the same thing here near the
Again, let's just look at the top of the arch of this aqueduct. Above it is all janky, weird rock. Okay,
Yeah.
we just showed you the rest of it. It was built perfectly. Okay, do you think this section just happened to get built with all the janky rock laying around on the ground?
Yeah, no, you cannot build a wall like this, you know. They were like masters of balancing rocks, you know, on top of each other.
Yeah, see, if that was melted down and only one piece there, they'd say it's a windbreaker.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so I guess we've looked at enough of it. I don't know what else.
Can you go back to that aerial footage of it running out into the water, like 3 pictures back? It was the aerial view of the aqueduct. Yeah, right there. Look at that, guys. Wow. Wow. Now this beach that they're walking on, guess what that is?
Look at this.
The rest of it's all melted building. All that beach. Parrotfish did not poop out that beach.
Nope. Crazy story.
See the color of the bridge? See the color of the sand? It's all the same. It was all building.
All the same. right. I don't know what else. Oh, erodium.
Oh
Pictures
yeah,
of
Herodium.
erodium before they dug up. Look,
This is before they dug up that walkway that they say
Yeah.
was for the king.
you see, it's all the ill. There's no
Start poking
structures.
around and like, holy crap.
And then look at this. This is what they found. You know, it's
This
all
is good here too. Pause. I mean, just stay right here. This is very volcano looking, guys.
Yeah.
Now, if they wanted to, they could have made this thing. They could have said it was a volcano and even set it off to look like it was a volcano.
Yeah, look. Before and now.
It's crazy.
And
Rhodium's
now,
just crazy.
I don't know if they're still digging stuff, and you can see that this one, they didn't dig up like this part here, where the amphitheater is. You can, I think they started just digging up this place.
Mm. Wow.
Again, okay, there's no amphitheater.
See, they're still uncovering it here. Here's where they're just poking around. They're like, holy crap, look at this. It's all building.
Yes. Totally a volcano.
So let's just clarify for anybody who's new to the situation here. I'm just going to let y'all know. Mountains are not a geological term.
According to Encyclopedia Britannica, mountains generally are understood to be larger than hills, but the term has no standardized geological meaning.
Boom, baby. It has no standardized geological meaning, the word mountain. It is a description of something.
Yeah, it's just a pile of something.
Yep.
So anything can be a mountain.
Even a melted building.
Exactly. And so they just dug up everything. You see, there's nothing. You cannot see. You cannot discern like the building parts anywhere. But
Do you need me to hide this banner so you can see your pictures better? Or can I run the banner?
No, you can run the banner. I just took it out for the video of erodium.
I gotcha.
Yeah. This is the inside part. It's all blocks.
Yeah, I haven't seen any that are fallen trees yet. When I do, I'll let you know. I'm just saying. All the ones that we've covered, and we've covered a lot, have all been buildings. Just saying. Yeah, Johnny, parrotfish.
No, I don't know where they get the tree thing. You know,
stay right
just,
there.
they're just repeating something that they heard because they have no proof of any.
Yes, I was on the whole giant tree thing one
No,
time.
but I know big trees exist. I can see that they were, but that size, I don't know. Maybe you look at the avatar too much, but
what gets me about this picture is how volcanic it looks.
Yeah.
You know, because we keep talking, you know, we got to cover the volcanoes again, like the Icelandic volcano and stuff when they go down in that. It's all fucking brick, all melted brick. Just like we showed in the pictures of that fort on the walls of the interior of this fucking supposed volcano looks like that fort. Runny red brick.
Yeah. This is the inside.
Oh, I know, Red Storm. I'm just saying, anybody out there who's listening, I get it.
And this is what they tell us that what it looked like. Again with the hill, there's no hill. It's all building.
That's right. This again, Herodium, right? Geologist. Oh yeah, that's just a hill over there. It took millions of years to form. Nothing to see here. Archaeologist comes along. No, it's a building.
Yep. But we can go to many pictures. Again, before they dug up everything. But you can see all around here. This was covered, uncovered, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
No, here and here you can see that everywhere they would dig, they would find some remains.
That's right.
All right. So what
25
else?
people here.
Okay. what else? Marsaba and Masada we covered, but I want to show the old city of David, where they built the what's the name of the city that they built on top of it? Jerusalem, I think.
Look at these. What is this here on the side? Are these like pillars?
Oh,
What is that? Wow.
yeah, I don't know if they made this, but I think it's probably what was already there.
It looks like Santorini a little bit, how the buildings are piled on top of each other.
Yeah, could have been, but I don't know.
Oh, let's scroll back up to the top. Let's look at these arches up here in this building at the top. Zoom in on that.
Which, this one?
Yeah, this new building up top
Okay.
with all the arches. Now, see, we just showed you a bunch of arches in the sides of what they say are mountains, right? These arches, when this thing melts down, you would have a layer crushing down on this layer, and then the arches get squished a little, but you could see that they were, just arches like this running across the side of what they call a mountain that takes millions of years to form.
Yeah. And these holes, everything. And then you can see some more here. It look like, I don't know. But all of this they have uncovered right in the middle of the city.
Mm-hmm.
It goes down. You can clearly see here transition of this turning into this melt. And they call it the stepstone structure. Again, you can clearly see here some
We
redness.
can't call it a red brick structure.
No, but here you can see inside of this. It's all red brick.
And see, you can see inside of the piece of the janky rock, and you can see that it was red brick.
Yeah. And all over the city, built on top of the old world. You can clearly see it, just like in Turkey or Italy or any other parts.
Yep, like there in between, you can see the little windows and doors there. Yeah, look all through there. You can see the melted part popping through.
Yeah. This was the old world building, just the remains, and now people just use the.
They refurbish it.
They refurbish
move in because they were houses to begin with.
Yeah. And also, they have built this thing just to hide the melt of the structure they had there. This is inside. You can go below the city. Melt just covered. Again. Built all under this city.
Johnny's going to bed, I think. Good night, Johnny.
Yeah, I think we won't be long. I think this is
look at that melt right there.
Yeah.
So they built all this other stuff, but here they just started carving. Is that what they're going to tell us?
Yeah, exactly. Look, and they all put all of this without mortar.
Where's all the mortar?
It's all here. It's all melted away.
These steps look kind of melted.
Yeah. Look at this one. It's the pyramid.
Look at that. That looks like Santorini. See how all the buildings are built like on top of them and they terrace up this thing here? We're always talking about the terracing, guys. Even off in the distance, you can see it.
Yeah. And they did like a map of what it looked like right in the middle of the city, just to make sure that you think that this is what it was, but they don't know and we don't know. But all of this hill there that they even made it was all brick buildings.
Yeah, you can see down in that gorge, that little valley running down there. It looks like brick there. Right?
Yeah, but this is just a
I know.
Yeah.
You can still see it though.
Yeah. And again, you can clearly see can spot the brick somewhere. And see it right in the middle of the city. Now we live at this level, but look at this.
I mean, where, like I always say, where the hell's ground level? Nobody knows. We're living on top of the melt, guys.
Yeah. Look at how big they did this to hide. But what you were talking about, Jen, it's the melt that was under this stuff. It's all red bricks and stuff.
Yeah, wow, that's crazy. Yeah. Okay, yeah, so that's what I'm saying. That part's not real, but this lower part is.
Yes,
and
yes,
see
yes.
it.
Yes. Just an aerial shot. What else do I got? I think we've look how
that dome was probably covered in gold.
Yes. All right. What is? Oh, this is the place that we just saw in the video with these melted pillars.
Yeah, nothing to see here. Just some melted pillars sitting there.
Being melted sideways.
That looks like that walkway that had the water running through it under Jerusalem.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
Whatever it is, it's melted those stones.
Yeah. Okay, that's the old city. We could look at Masada really quick.
Yes, let's look at Masada. This place is insane. I love this.
All of this just melted down. A tree stump. Look at this melt there.
This melted wall is crazy.
Yeah, but I think this again, they covered it with some kind of a cement plaster just to hide what's behind underneath it.
Most likely Chapu. Yeah, because there's only so many things that they can answer for, you know? Yeah. And then it's just like, okay, well, what about this? And they're like, we don't got nothing for that, so we're just going to cover it.
That's very true.
Let's look at Mike Brady's eyes again. I think they're getting redder. Hold on. Pay attention to the whites of his eyes. I think he's been smoking weed.
That's very true.
Yeah, how red his eyes are? Get that guy some Visine.
Yeah. Yeah, like all fused together.
Maybe he was having onions.
Motherfucker.
Again, this is the side of Masada.
You can see the apertures.
Yeah. You can see here like some kind of arch remain. Some rock curtain here. From the top, also here. The view from Masada to the other side, it's all buildings.
I don't know if she's watching or not.
Yeah, just melted away. Look at this. All of these just melted away toward the Dead Sea, creating like the saltiest sea ever, but it's all building ash from the melt that made this sea so salty.
Agreed, Chapu. I definitely think it's the building ash that's causing all the salt water.
Yeah.
The Dead Sea, all that stuff.
Yes.
Wow.
And just
look at that.
That's all
Wow.
melt. But if you
that's X Factor right there, guys. That's what you're looking at, the X Factor.
look at the structure, you know, here, there, this.
Yeah, you can see the building everywhere. And then you can also see like the flow of the melt.
Yeah. You can clearly see some here, some here. the rest, it's all muffed up, so too mangled to see anything.
Right, like the part of that wall in the fort where it was melting over itself.
Yeah.
But you could still make out in certain locations throughout that melt, like the parallel running brick layers that they call sedimentary layers, that also down here in the front get wavy and go sideways, and then the jackwagon geologists call that cross bedding.
Yes. What's remain. I showed the same thing in Hawaii. Just
Oh,
a
yeah, you
pile
did.
of rocks remaining there. There, you can clearly see pocket of survival here.
Look at those. There's like a little archways and doorways and stuff. Yep,
Yeah.
looks like a whole, and you can follow that all the way around.
Yes.
If you look at Vesuvius, if you get the right pictures, you can see what looks like apertures, walkways, doorways, and like massive corridors and stuff.
Yeah. All this just like the Grand Canyon. Same thing.
Oh, look at that. Just
Yeah.
look at it. Boom, baby.
Just melted away.
You could see that this was a building. You could see the apertures in the structure. You could see that the building was melting down over itself like ice cream. It's undeniable at this point, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Especially if you've been with us this whole time. You know what you're looking at. If not, well...
You can't handle the truth!
Exactly, Jeff. All these layers.
There's millions of years of brick layers, sedimentary brick layers.
Yes. This is the side of this Masada thing. Just a huge tower, Babel-like building. Going inside it. I've got like thousands of pictures of this place. Look.
Now, see, some people have said that this was a tree stump.
Yeah.
But everywhere you look in this place, it's structure, guys.
Yeah, but I've never seen a tree like this shape, you know?
Yeah. I don't think Devil's Tower is a tree stump, in my opinion. It's definitely some type of crazy structure.
Yeah, I already explained my views on the big trees. I know that big trees exist, but giant, like they are saying, I don't think there is, because we all know that trees soak up like really a big amount of water, and they need a really big amount of water to be sustained, and it doesn't make sense to me. Look at this is a view of Masada from afar.
Wonder how they got all that stuff up there to build up on top of that thing. Must have been all those mules.
Yeah, exactly. They're breeding mules everywhere.
Look at that. Look at how melted that is right there.
Yeah.
Wow.
But here they can say that it was melted because it's near Sodom and Gomorrah. So.
Well, we know that place is melted as fuck.
Yeah.
So what happened to those people with God's judgment? Go back a picture. I'm sorry. This side that you're showing here, you could see, guys, you could see where it looks like regular dirt piled up with janky rock, and then all of a sudden it goes into structure again, and then you could this whole thing, every level. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 levels just right here.
Yeah.
Wow. Bet you there's a lot of steps throughout this whole thing.
Yes. I wanted to say something.
Down here on the ground in front of us, way out, all that. Look at all that. All of that, guys.
Yes.
That could have been the rest of whatever this is that we're looking at flowed out down over there.
Yep.
And what's down under all that stuff? What could this flow have covered that didn't get melted or hit? You know?
Yeah.
Like those guys in India. You said they just walked up and they saw that thing. They started digging. It kept going down, down, down on the ground.
Yeah, exactly.
Look at that. So you can see where the perfect rock turns into this janky rock right next to it. Brick. So when it looks muffed up like this, they say it's older because it's that muffed up, and that's what they have to say. Because how could they explain something from 200 years ago looking this muffed up? They would have to say it's ancient.
Yeah, just one. Red Storm said the tree's petrified. You know what it takes to petrify it. You need something with no moisture in the air, no moisture everywhere. It needs to get covered by a thick mud with no air, so all the cement, the sediments get into the tree and change it into a rock. But the outside, the big ones, it cannot be. I'm sorry to break your bubble, but the condition that it takes to it, the earth would have been like flooded all over, like so much, and nothing survived this thing for a big long time, and then just people just came back. So if you don't believe in,
So where did all the trees go? Where did all the limbs to these trees go? Where did the rest of the trees go if they cut down these trees and they're perfectly cutting all this stuff? And I think that there was giant trees to a certain extent, like Shapu said, but not on the scale of what they're trying to say that these mountains are.
No,
but that's my opinion.
Yeah.
And everything that we've covered, we always show structure. I've not come across one thing yet that has stumped me on it. You know what I mean? If you will.
No. And also I've seen the video that people one guy just saying everything is a tree, everything, like every rock is a part of a tree. Yeah, it kind of looks like, I can show you like pillars that looks like tree stumps, but they're not. They're actually buildings and made with bricks. But you can think whatever you want. I'm not here to prove anything to you. I'm just here
I think
to
that there
show
was
you
bigger people, bigger
what I
buildings, bigger vegetation, bigger trees, bigger animals. It was a whole different vibe, a whole different scene. And, but I don't think the trees probably were as big. And, Shapu, that thing you did about the petrified forest was in Arizona, I believe.
Yeah.
Where you showed that they look like the Roman columns.
Yes.
And they're not cut perfectly, like these tree limbs that are supposedly petrified have, perfectly cut in sections. Well,
Yeah.
this is exactly how the Roman columns were built. They were put together in sections.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, the people just saying the trees, they don't think really, because you need a lot of condition to turn something into a petrified, what they call petrified tree, because also it's not wood. It's not wood anymore. What they explain, what they petrified, it's like all the minerals get into the cracks and change the wood takes the place of the wood, but now it's now rock. It was a tree, but now it's now rock. What they say to us.
Wow. This picture you have up here, Shapu, and I'm listening to you, but it's just blowing my mind. This is a really good picture. This whole thing was a building. You could see all the apertures running across every floor on this thing coming down here.
Yeah.
This was massive. And it goes way down under this melt here that's running over itself. Then you got this right here in front of us here where it looks like cross bedding happening here. Just put your cursor down a little bit. Right here on this pathway going up. Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
But all this over top of it has melted down and come off of it.
Yeah. All of this, where this, some people would call it the mud flood. Where, yeah, but all of this came from where? From the sky, and the mud from the sky. Maybe the sky is made of mud, Jen.
Yep. So again, you can see what is windows, doors, and all these different levels here. They're not going to go up here, scale down the side of this thing, and start carving out weird melted looking aperture openings. For what?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
It's melted.
Also, the thing with these petrified trees in the Arizona, they're all laying all around on top of the ground. Not buried, not underground, not just right there on the air, open air. It doesn't make sense to me. What probably could have turned this to, it's another thing, because all this area, they did a lot of these high explosive tests back in the day. So I don't know. Yeah. But anyway, it's another topic.
I'm not sure what you're saying here. If you think, the flood or rain or whatever, I don't know. It would have. I feel like I'm not sure exactly what you're saying here. Let's just say that first off. But some people have a theory that water did all this. Like, I guess it would have to be extremely hot water because that shit's melted. Okay, and I've never seen water melt anything like that. And then that would take a long time to happen as well, maybe longer than I think that this event actually took. I think this event was instantaneous.
Yeah. No, you say is that again, you just repeat something that he doesn't think, because what it's not the water, it's the mineral in the water, but we just explained where the minerals in the water come from. It's all come from the melted buildings, because this is the mineral, the small particles of minerals just clinging together over time, and it's called lithification. And it's again with the geology, millions of years and millions. You need to separate yourself from all the things that you've learned and that they told you, and think another way. That's the only way you can clearly see the big picture of all of this.
Exactly. And it is a big picture, guys. We've shown that the coastlines were buildings. Okay. Like we showed Salerno, Italy, the whole coastline of Italy was building, and we could show it. We proved it. Wow. Look at that. Just
look at this one. Just nowhere. Just
right?
build a door.
Yeah.
With no passageway.
No problem. We do it all day long here.
Yeah, like you said, Jen, you clearly see all the levels of the floors.
Yep.
But anyway, we can
get. And Pants On, I heard you say, I saw you read earlier that you're open to anything, and that's great because your mind should be open. And my mind is open as well. And I feel like, we've proved over again, at least here on my channel and Shapu's channel and Ceiling Fan Man's channel, that what we present is definitely structure that has been affected by some type of extreme heat damage.
Yeah. The most important thing is that at least you don't believe what they tell you,
Yeah,
right?
we can agree that this is not a natural formation that took millions of years, like jackwagon geologists would have you believe. Whether you think it's a tree stump, this or something else, or I think it's a building. Either way, we know that the narrative is bullshit. So there's that. And that's what's important. But what's also important is that we recognize that there was this extreme heat event. What could have caused it? And how long ago did it happen? And how many times did it happen? And why would it even happen?
Yeah, because if you say that this is a tree, but this is a tree also, and all of this is a tree also. So this is a one big tree. That's why it doesn't make sense to me. Because it's the same thing. This is the same thing as this one behind, and this and this. So all of this was a big tree. There's something missing with that story, and I don't know where it came from. But probably they talk about it in the Bible. I don't know. But I know that Avatar just pushed this thing of big trees. Since then, just people just talk about these big trees.
He says, I ain't no mud fossil tree stumper. I'm a meltologist.
Yeah.
That's right, you're a meltologist.
Yeah, also these mud fossils, body limbs and stuff. Again, just another. Because everything that is organic just rots away. And for me, the condition that it takes to turn something into stone, it's almost impossible. So that's why I don't follow this, because it's
okay, I see what you're saying here. I agree with that. To a certain extent, I think a lot of the water is still coming out of these buildings. As you see a lot of water coming out of mountaintops in Hawaii and all over the place. up here at Mount Cheeha near me. I've proved that it's a melted building. At the very top of it, we tracked the water back to a little spring coming out of the very top of the mountain, which is a melted building. And that water is crisp and clean. I've actually drank out of that water coming right out of the mountain building. Put my hand up and just drank some water. It was great. Buildings like our buildings today have water in them. They have water systems and stuff. And when these buildings melt down, sometimes the water's still running and has to escape somewhere. That's why a lot of these supposed caves are flooded with fresh water.
Yeah, that's the theory that I was telling you, that all these big cities had these giant water towers what is it called? Just to
Pressure?
No, but to furnish all the city with the fresh water.
Oh,
But
yeah.
yeah, the pressure it's involving, because we still use it today. These water towers to.
We covered water towers, or at least I did a couple of, I don't know how many channels ago. I was looking at the old world water towers, man, and there are some really cool looking towers.
Yeah. And in French, they call it water castles. They don't call it water towers.
They call it what?
Water castles.
Oh, yeah. There was one that looked like a castle that I had looked at. It had like a dragon on the front of it and everything. It had like parapets and conical roofs and stuff. It was a fucking water tower. They look like little mini castles and stuff.
Yeah. So now we're in Marsaba. The canyon with the monastery, but more than one. But look at this. These remains. These were all, again, building bricks everywhere.
Absolutely amazing. Again, the more muffed up it is, the more older they say it is, guys.
Yeah.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah. In Meltology, the more muffed up it is, the bigger the building it was.
That's right. Look at this. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, this canyon is it's amazing. We've shown this one to CFM.
This one reminds me of the picture of Metropolis. From the movie from the 20s, Metropolis, where it shows like building on top of building on top of building, and this weird kind of modern kind of looking thing here.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, this is the bottom part of it. Some parts have been refurbished.
Yeah, tourism.
Sure. Yeah. But look, what's going on? This.
Wow.
Yeah, look, Jen.
Oh, the garage.
You were talking about your parking garage.
Put your car in right here. Come into our melted apartment complex here.
Yeah. Again, can clearly see.
You're on the third squished floor. The third melted floor.
Yeah. So this is all over this canyon.
Wow.
Yeah, refurbished some parts of it, put doors to it, but look at all of this one.
Yeah, and look at all below it too. See, there's just arches down here and stuff.
Yeah. Can you see here a pillar just engulfed in the melt?
Swimming in melt.
But they can see here, like just on the hill, just remains of walls. Below, here, there.
Yeah, what's that doing there?
Yeah.
It's just popping out, red brick.
The entire hill is.
This is what I'm talking about, guys. Go back to that picture. Doesn't matter where you are. You just be walking along here, think you're just walking on some millions of years of sedimentary layers, hiking along, and then oops, a brick wall.
Yes.
All this rock you see was brick, guys. You can see that it was brick because over here it's brick. Here it's janky because it's more heat damaged.
Yeah. this is talking about melted GCAP of Cinnabar. Cinnabar, this is where all the mercury we get comes from. That type of rock.
Uh-huh.
And saying that it's all brick, it could probably be also, but it was part of a building that probably had the most energetic.
Yeah, where's that doorway go?
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. It's so amazing.
Yeah, this canyon, it's crazy. Like all of this.
Wow.
We see.
Look at the doorways and windows and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, they're gonna say this little river carved all this out, and these windows and doors and all this stuff.
Yeah, because this is what they tell us, that this river was so high at one point that it carved this all out, but that's, I don't know how it would carve
Build
this
a wall there too.
and leave jagged edges, because if the water would be
No,
all
because you
smooth.
can see all the way up here. Every level is a wall. You can see it.
Yes.
Part of the building.
Yes.
Wow.
And in my video of erosion is not what they tell you, I explain how come that these jagged edges still there when the water was running all over. It should be all smooth and
look,
rounded,
It's just leaving these arches, phantom arches here, and windows and stuff.
Yeah.
Wow.
See, everywhere.
Even when I look at this, when you pull back out and you look at the scale of it, and then you zoom in and you see, you're like, okay, yeah, maybe it's, it just could this really be all building? And you zoom in, arches, windows,
let's look
doors.
at this. Yeah, look at this. You see this part here, even this part here.
Wow.
It's everywhere.
It's undeniable.
And these type of thing, we see it in all the canyons, either Arizona, Utah, Nevada, Colorado, everywhere. And the next one we have two is what, Idaho? No, Idaho.
Yeah.
I think there's a canyon there also, and I've seen the pictures. Crazy, it's all melted.
Yeah, Idaho. I was saying Illinois, I think. We're gonna probably get out of here right around the 4-hour mark. We're at 3:52 right now.
Yeah, I'm on the last picture set here.
All right,
just running through.
Hungry. We haven't gone 4 hours in a while. I mean, it's been a minute.
It's been a while. But this place, Marsaba, is just crazy. I only show like the canyon, but there's also like the monastery.
Oh yeah. Oh, I remember that monastery.
And look at this wavy brick line, and you go, oh, what's going on here? There's a house there. Just like this.
Let's see here.
Yeah.
Go back to where it's wavy again. Right there, and look below the waviness. So you can see the brick lines down there even too.
Yeah.
Wow. It's incredible.
Yeah. This is a nice view of another section. You can clearly see past remains down there. But this section here is pretty interesting.
Wow. I guess it just rained really hard right in this one section.
Yeah, in a place that hardly gets rain. So.
Right? Oh, they know exactly what all this is. Look at this. Look across at your neighbors over here and all these windows and stuff.
Yeah. They're looking at it every day. But
you can't deny it. You just can't. You have the eyes to see it. You can't deny it. Look at the arches across the way there. Up top. Yeah. Look at that. Wow. Rectangular things there. Yep. It's a building all day long, every day of the week. Interconnected buildings. Where's ground level? You never had to go down to ground level. Everything you needed was on every floor.
Yeah.
They probably grew their vegetation and lived within all these buildings.
Yeah. Probably water flowing everywhere and fresh water. You can just go there and.
You know, like the hanging gardens.
Yes. Yeah. This place, and you can clearly see that there were strict structures way higher down there that just melted and covered all of this. That's how it got covered.
Yeah, imagine if you start digging down there, like back behind the city and stuff, you would probably go down and hit some structure.
Yeah.
Covered by the melt.
But now it's all fused one piece. That's why they call it like a mountain.
Go back a picture. Go back one picture. Okay, because they look like where this road zigzagging up and curves around. All that looks like really melted up there.
Yeah, all of this. Yes, exactly.
Yeah. It's crazy looking.
So we can go this. I've got this a big folder. I've got like hundreds and hundreds. How many I got in this one?
You got 5 minutes.
All right. But I think I'm gonna hand it.
Okay.
Here. This is another section. But anyway.
Well, that was a lot of fun, Chapeau.
Yes.
Got the best folders as you.
Thanks.
Oh.
Got so many pictures. It's crazy. I found like this week crazy places, but I cannot post like everything in a day, so I just stack up pictures and pictures and pictures. It's crazy.
Yeah, you got millions of folders. I know I haven't seen all of them yet, but we'll get there.
Yeah, even me, I didn't see all of them. Sometimes I just download a lot of pictures of places, put them in a folder, and just put them there until we do a show on it. So.
All right, there's something I wanted to show here real quick before we get out of here. Let me see if I can find it. Where was it? Chapeau. Okay, yeah, here it is. Let me get that up. All right, I'm going to screen share real quick. Where the hell's my StreamYard? I'm lost in all my tabs I have open. Okay, so John Levy just did a video recently, and he showed this picture on his presentation because he was talking about melted structures. Because he gets it. He knows they're melted buildings.
Yeah.
And let's see here. Okay, can you see this?
Yes.
So he was showing candle wax melting here. You can see how it melts down away from the structure of the candle.
Yeah.
And comes down along here and runs down. And also you can see the same thing with these buildings that they tell us are sedimentary layers and took millions of years to form. Again, this lower picture right here, you can definitely see the brick lines, the parallel running brick lines here. Again, it's very reminiscent of this ziggurat here, right here. The lines that they say are sedimentary layers, but clearly this is a building, just like wherever I just was here. Let me close that out. Get back to my Facebook. Where did it go? I don't know. I think I lost it. All right. So, anyway, whatever. I closed something out. Anyway, guys, we're going to get out of here. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. If you have not clicked the notification bell to get notified, please make sure you do that. A lot of people get unsubbed and unnotified somehow. I don't know how that happens. If you'd like to support Chapeau's channel, his PayPal link is in the description below. You have to copy and paste the link because I can't use advanced settings, put links in unless it's YouTube links. Make sure you're subbed and bell to Chapeau's channel as well. We do live streams over there. He's got a lot of great videos, and all of our old live streams are over there as well. And thank you again, Chapeau. I think we knocked this one out of the park. Israel is melted as fuck.
Exactly. Yeah. Thank you, Jen. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Love you all. It's a great one.
All right, guys. Let it not be said that we stood by and did nothing. I love you, and we are out of here.